A lot tighter line.
Good evening and welcome to the continuing coverage of this year's Men's and Ladies Ontario Provincial Curling Championships, brought to you by Curl On and Title Sports Live. Tonight we will have the men's 7th draw of this 93rd Men's Ontario Provincial Championship. Winner of this event earns the right to represent Ontario at the Tim Hortons Brier in Kingston, Ontario. My name is Ian Tetley and I am joined by my colleague Barb Williamson.
Another one?
This is the last draw for this Thursday, culminating with our semifinals and finals on Saturday and Sunday. Tonight's feature match will be Leaside Curling Club's John Epping versus Penetanguishene Curling Club's Glenn Howard. The boys are just finishing their practice off here, Barb, and then we were going to show the draw to the button. Glenn's got one more throw in here, so too big. This is our big game of the week, the Howard Epping game.
You know, and they're both at the top of the standings right now, having a great week so far, and it's probably safe to say that this is going to be a preview of this weekend's either semifinal or final. They're both battling hard against all the teams, and they seem to have been they're dialed in.
This one is just going sideways.
These two teams have met 50 times over their career, and Howard leads the rankings 32 to 18.
Well, that's a pretty phenomenal number.
Now this year they have played 3 times, and Howard is up 2 to 1.
But interestingly enough, the last 3 provincial games they played against each other, John Epping has won.
Over the last 3 years, Howard has an 8 to 7 advantage. So going to be interesting here as we watch Glenn Howard throw his last shot draw. We will follow that by showing you John Epping's draw to the button.
So the whole place goes silent here as Glenn Howard's throwing his draw for hammer.
Well, it's really keen here at the start of the game.
Line should be good.
John Epping's draw to the button, it was 16-3 hog to hog. That's how quick it was.
Really running. Line's good. Line's good.
And the curl, they've been out in the middle of the 12-foot there. That's 14-9. Yeah, he's going to be a little...
Dave's rock still. Dave's rock. Nicely done, boys.
Well, that's perfect.
And that's perfect by Glenn Howard.
Nice.
So you'll actually get to see the official here. Actually, when they put it on the button, they actually want to see how close the center of the rock is to the button. So they use a triangulation method where they take the distance of the rock, the outside of the rock, and they know the circumference of the rock, and so they take this measurement, and this is and it gives them the actual distance from the center of the rock to the pin. And so all week long they use this measurement, and if there are any tiebreakers, the last shot draw is used.
So do they measure it from all sides here, or how does that work? So far he's done 2.
Yeah, he just does 2.
Okay.
And now we're going to show you the John Epping stone and his draw to the button. So as it came in, they went hard. Like I said, his was 16-3 hog to hog time.
Blow the contacts right out of my eyes.
And he ended up about, well, maybe 2 inches away. So by virtue of the draw to the button, Glenn Howard will have the hammer.
You don't know anything. You like that 8?
So game on already. They haven't even started, and they have a victory here.
Well, you know what? This game is all about the little mini victories. It's, I think about it saying, okay, who wins the draw to the button? Who gets the first point? Who gets the first deuce? And then it's kind of like a race to the 5th end. Who is either up at the 5th end or, didn't have the hammer at the beginning of the game and is tied with the hammer at the 5th end. To me, I look at that as a victory.
For sure, or who scored in the 5th end, heading to the break, and did that put them up, or did they catch up with that? So there's all kinds of little momentum shifters as we go through the game. So while we're waiting for this draw to get underway, let's have a look at our standings.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned up top of the field here, John Epping at 5-0 has not lost yet. Team Howard right on his heels at 5-1. Team Wilsey right in the battle here at 4-2. Team McDonald still in it, tied with Team Hall at 3-2 records. And then I think the next 4 teams are pretty much out of it with their 3 losses and more. So we have Team Ferris at 2 and 3. We have Team Cam at 1 and 4. Team Keene at 1 and 5. And Team Allen still looking for their first victory.
So for John Epping here, actually, he can actually separate himself by 2 games clear of the field with a victory here tonight. If Glenn wins tonight, now by virtue of beating John, if they both run the table, then Glenn would get the bye to the final. So let's meet our 2 teams here tonight.
So Team Epping, the lead is Brent Lang, second Matt Cam, throwing third the new member of this team, Ryan Fry, and at skip, John Epping from the Leaside Curling Club.
Well, Team McDonald, well, that's unfortunate. Actually, Glenn Howard's team has got lead Tim March, second David Mathers, third Scott Howard, and skip Glenn Howard. Like Glenn's, 18-time champion out of Ontario, is 4-time Canadian and world champion. He's got more victories at the Canadian at the Brier level than anybody. He's basically curling's GOAT.
Yeah, he's phenomenal, and I love it that he's still playing at such a high level for his age. I mean, he's not old, but he's old compared to this field.
Yes. Well,
now, the other stat that I really love that we should share is that Brent Lang has not lost an Epping-Howard game since 2010.
So in the last 10 years, he's either played for Howard and won, or he's played with Epping and he's won. So that's a great tidbit. Thank you, Barb.
It is actually quite a little fun fact.
3 other games on tap here tonight. We've got Matt Hall up against Jason Cam, Pat Ferris up against John Wilsey, and Scott McDonald versus Steve Allen. So, Scott McDonald's going to want to try and keep pace with the rest of the field, as does John Wilsey. There's a young team. They're still in the hunt here. So, as much as Epping and Howard are kind of maybe at the top end of the field, if Glenn loses tonight, he falls back, and there's a few other teams still in the mix. So.
Well, and somebody's got to finish third here. There are 3 teams make the playoffs, so.
Exactly. So obviously our leader this week after the round robin of play, the leader will get a bye to the final on Sunday for the men, and the semifinal, the 2-3 game, will be on Saturday evening at 8 p.m.
Actually, that's the ladies' final.
That's the ladies' final at 4 p.m. Yes, I stand corrected. The ladies' semifinal is Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. And the men's semifinal is Saturday at 4:30. Sorry.
Okay.
Brent Lang will lead us off here for the John Epping team.
Wait's close. Line's good.
I expect these teams to get right into it and want to play.
Line's real good.
The ice conditions are
moving.
to me, getting better day by day by day.
Keep it moving.
So they both played on this sheet, and they both hated it the first time they played on it.
Yeah.
So I heard them comment during practice that they notice a big difference already. So they've talked about it feels a little greasy. They think it's a different pebble. It's a lot faster. So I think we're going to be in for lots of rocks of play.
Lead Tim March.
Pretty good. Rope. Like to go a bit. Rope.
For Glenn Howard.
Not throwing, Dave.
Rope. Wait's there. Wait's there.
I'm one of these guys that like to look at stats. And,
really
this
down.
week in the men's games,
Wait's pretty good. Keep going,
75% of the games have been won by the team with the hammer so far. But we're not finished the week yet. On this specific sheet, blue has won 7 times, yellow's won 6. So it's pretty easy, pretty even.
Yeah.
So perfect shot by Tim March now, and now
Wait's close.
Brent Lang will try to lock this stone on.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
So as they've been tweaking the sheet, we've noticed
We're there.
just fantastic curl from both sides.
True.
Both turns coming this way and even going towards the home end just have amazing
To the
curl. They have to
inside.
go almost out to the edge of the 12 foot. Sometimes they have to go out even a little more than the edge.
It did. Me too. I wanted to get clean the whole way.
Tim March now
Hey,
for
pretty
the
much
Howard
top 12
team.
right now.
Obviously,
Go,
the
let's
Howard
go.
team,
Gotta go, gotta go.
number
really tight
18
lines
on
here.
the CTRS
Hockey line's
rankings,
good.
and John Epping, number 2. John's just had a.
Yep, good
They got
now.
off to
Gotta
a
go.
hot
Wait
start
there.
with
Gotta go.
with Ryan Fry
Really
slotting
curling.
in on that
Gotta
squad,
go, gotta go line.
and they just
You gotta
won the
bump.
Canada
Gotta
Cup
go
as
line.
well.
Line's perfect. You can hold
So-
it there. You got to bump. Whoa, 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 whoa.
High, mid.
Yeah, that's good.
So there's an indication of the amount of curl we can expect to see on that intern
Right
side.
there. Moving a little is okay. Definitely a hair better.
Yeah, I thought so, really.
Yeah, I think so.
We've already mentioned how quick it is. We saw those draws to the button, just phenomenal split times, hog to hog, even from touch to the first
Little
hog
bit
line. They're
early.
getting like
Which
4,
one? This one coming?
4:30.
Hard.
That's like crazy fast.
Hard.
Well, it does come down though.
Hard,
Like
go,
actually,
hard.
after the 34th end, you'll start to see the weight start to come out a little bit.
Hard.
Matty pulled the
Matt
string
Cam here.
Whoa, whoa. Trying to bounce it a little. Okay.
here. He'd sit 3, Dave.
So he overlapped the guards a little bit
Yeah,
there,
that
so
was the
not
speed
the
up.
greatest situation for
Oh, you see enough?
None.
Team
Oh,
Epping here.
Great shot. Like it if you make it.
Okay.
Sure. Board. Yeah.
Well, this will be the.
It's going to come up. Well,
So this is kind of the tender spot on the sheet because it's a little bit tricky.
a little bit, yeah.
You know, for David Mathers, he's going to have the opportunity to possibly hit a piece of this stone and roll away, but lay 3.
Not good. Close. Tim. Hard, Tim. Hard, Tim. Hard, Tim. Hard, Tim.
Really
Hard, Tim.
working.
Go,
He's
buddy, go,
carving.
go,
He's got a
go.
great looking
Yellow,
shot in
yellow,
here.
Yellow. Beauty. Nice shot, Davey.
Well done.
Wow, that's a great shot by David Mathers.
Yeah. I know. I said that right after. Right after I said there's no weight. Good shot, Davey.
Looks like
I don't know,
the
you
Team
try
Epping are
and run
going to
that even if you do this.
just try and open this up.
It's going to go straight back. No?
I know.
Really taking a long look at this one.
Well, if he doesn't play on the center, like it's going to be difficult for him to get it at those stones. And then the last thing he wants to do is drop 3 here in the first end. Matt Cam, the self-employed entrepreneur with Cam and Jones Restorations.
Okay.
So that ran right straight down the sheet.
Oh,
I
he's
don't
close to.
think Matt's very happy with his start.
He's going to be able to touch that. Good. It should be half open though. I don't mind this, boys. This one? All right. Gonna leave him something to freeze to. Okay.
I mean, it's first end, and they're already like, don't want to leave him
Yeah.
anything to freeze to.
Well, these 3 young guys really get involved with Glenn, and you know what? I think that's what keeps him young and inspired here.
Whoa,
You know,
whoa.
they help challenge him.
Wait's good. Hairline. Whoa. Hairline. Clean, clean.
David
Yep.
Mathers, the
Whoa. Hairline.
28-year-old
Yep. Hard, Tim.
provincial group manager with BrokerLink.
I know.
So that curled up on them, and I guess they set all the way down. It wasn't the weight that
Try,
Glenn
Dave.
had
I
called.
was thinking
So
control, but you on board?
Yeah.
Well, for Ryan Fry,
Board?
board.
Board?
If he can make this hit and roll, he can help bail Matt Cam out of this end.
Board?
Looking to try to make a little board weight hit and roll. Ryan, the newest member to this squad.
Yeah, we just had to sweep it, eh?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Forward. Whoa. Yep.
Does curl here.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep.
Hard.
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 Hard. Hard.
Good looking shot. Is he going to hang around?
Just
Gonna
lost
go
the
too
line on
far.
that, eh?
Excellent attempt, though.
Okay.
Yeah, Glenn wants to get this
I like,
out of here. He
I
does
like
not
board.
want
Okay.
to leave him anything that he can hit and roll off
Air
of
fresh, eh?
and be shot. He's got such a nice situation at the top of the forefoot there.
Well, for young Scott Howard here,
Whoa.
he doesn't really want to nose it because he's going to give John an opportunity to sort of get back underneath.
Tim.
Oh, it's jumping off the hill here now.
Dave.
Well, that's a great attempt by Scott Howard.
Forward.
You know, first end, like, we've seen this in some of the other draws, Barb. You know, we talk about there's so much emphasis onto the draw to the button, but there's sort of the eye in the middle of the sheet that still is kind of first end sort of pebble, or like pregame pebble, because nobody really throws down there.
Yep. Hard.
Ryan Fry trying to make the roll.
One more time. They just lost the line on that. And those are nice, manageable weights they're throwing, I find.
Can I roll between them? Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Gotta roll. Yeah. I like hitting. Board. I like hitting this. He's playing this. Same weight. That was solid. Okay. Same weight. Hair lighter. Half a rock. Yep.
Glenn just emphasizing here that he can't just sit there. He needs to roll.
Well, if he noses it, it's going to give John Epping a chance to play the high, hard one and possibly make the double.
Hard Tim.
Tim
Hard Tim.
March is trying to
Hard
carve
Tim.
this thing over.
Oh,
He's got to be
Tim.
close.
Hard Dave. Go Dave. God damn it.
Still running right.
Well, Glenn's not happy about that because he's just given John Epping an out here.
Little less.
Oh, for sure.
Now, we do know that this spot is ultra sensitive. Like if he's got any sort of back motion on his release, he'll end up nosing the Howard Stone. And he wants this to go straight down the sheet, make the double, to at least, at best for Glenn, get it. Get two.
He had the broom on the inside of the rock there.
Throw, John.
And there's a great shot by John Epping. What a start for him.
Throw, John.
Pick it.
He can pick it or he could draw around here, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he could draw all the way
Double
around.
peel?
Actually, he's probably better served to draw all the way around.
Go here. Or double peel's
Double
not
peel's
awful.
pretty good.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, if he throws the pick, he's only sitting in the 8
Yeah.
foot.
He definitely almost went down. Yep. Or peel on the nose line.
Well, his thinking is that if he double peels this center, John will probably draw, but John may just blast that out of there and say, okay, you can blank this end now and we can move along.
Yeah.
And considering he was halfway through the end, he was about to drop 3.
He'd be happy with the blanket.
Whoa.
Glenn Howard, the 57-year-old retiree now.
Curl it a bit.
What will the beer store do without him?
Might stop.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's
Might be in the way, though.
Those rocks, they're whack, those rocks. How does that go in from up there?
Well, I think it's good now because even if he knows it, I get this. Right? What?
Hey?
Yeah.
Nothing.
But the nice thing is he can't
Wanna
nose
peel it?
without us being second, I think.
You good with this?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think he can nose it and be second. Yeah.
Well, for John Epping, I think he's got an opportunity here to
Yeah, a little more.
to draw around and get to the top of the button and
I'm kind of feeling it's
make
like that
Glenn Howard's
14-7.
life a little bit difficult, very difficult here to
A
score.
little bit slower than.
Yeah, it's not that drop.
We're going to be wide too.
Okay. Just that little
So
bit.
this is the widest they've gone out. Again, you mentioned that this isn't the path that they practiced in, so it'll be a bit of a guess here.
Well, he could be. He's got sort of the full house to get to. He's got to be at least 8 foot, even if he's deep. This is going sideways now. 14-6.
Goodness, he's on the front.
Well, I think it is just good enough.
Yeah, it's good.
Pretty good.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Did you give him one?
Sorry, I thought I could.
What's that?
It's
Give him
good.
one? Oh, yeah, you probably don't
I'll
make
give it
this one.
I think he can slash the blue on that side and get his point.
think it's going
As
up.
long as it doesn't spin out.
No, just
The
anything.
worst part is they're going to watch that doesn't stick.
I know.
That's a shot, though.
This could come like this, Tim.
This dead sticks over there. It should
But
be close.
if it's for one, why wouldn't he just draw?
Oh, I think
Can't hit it too thin, can I?
Pretty thin.
It's not going anywhere.
You know,
it's not coming up. I don't know.
we saw them draw to the button going to the home end.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they were
quarter.
both about, I don't know, what, 4 inches into the outside of the edge of the 12-foot. You know, they didn't really practice coming this way.
Right.
And so it's not really worked in. That path really isn't worked in. So if he missed it, the problem is, you know, he gives up a free deuce
John
to
hooked us a
John.
bit, but he really whipped it. I don't see it going much either.
For Glenn Howard,
Super thin's not great.
last stone of this first end, hoping to make a double takeout and hang around to score a single here.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard.
Good looking
Easy.
shot.
Easy.
Oh my God. There's just no carry with these rocks.
It was a
Like
hard
it's just
shot,
the.
It's really hard. One yellow.
But that's going to be steal of 1 point for John Epping here in the first end of play. Wow, if that's what we're going to expect for 9 more ends, this is going to be an epic match.
You haven't even sat down yet.
Pretty harder.
Get all caught up here on our other games. Team Cam over on sheet A have taken 2 on Matt Hall.
I hit the other rock.
They lead after one end of
First rock
play.
you hit.
I know.
Team
That should be
Wilsey took 1 in the first end and lead Team Ferris by that amount. And over on sheet D,
Yeah, unless they're in trouble.
Good shot,
Team
John.
Allen are down 2-0 to Team McDonald.
What side do you like, Langer?
So be keeping a close eye on McDonald and Wilsey here
Well, I'm getting hot. There's
on
something wrong.
sheets C and D.
Well, Patrick Ferris is not out of this either.
Right.
You know, and he's going to keep fighting. You know, they gave Glenn, I thought, a great match for getting down 5-0.
Second one didn't.
Line's good.
Brent Lang here leading us off for the Epping squad in
Fight
the
the
start of the
Judge.
second
Whoa,
end.
whoa, whoa, still running straight. It's got to be here. It's
Brent
gotta be
Lang,
here.
the
No,
41-year-old from
no.
Meaford,
No.
Ontario.
Slide a bit. Just slide.
Okay,
Throw Langer.
good Langer.
Yeah, it's that same stuff.
Nice throw, Langer.
Tim March is just going to throw up the corner guard for Glenn Howard here. Tim March, the accountant for Kathy L. Toon, Chartered Professional
Line's good.
Accountants.
Gotta go. Yeah, go.
Okay, go, Dave.
Thing just hits an anchor, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Shot, Tim.
Shot. Yeah, that's slow. Yeah.
So that's the spot, though, that we mentioned, Ian, that when they put their guard
Yep.
in that spot, it takes away the in-turn draw to the button.
Oh, totally. Like he would love it to be a little bit deeper and over 2 more feet.
It was close.
Whoa. Yep.
Half, John.
Yep.
A little tighter than half.
Yeah, we want tighter than half, but not in.
Just tight. Weight's good.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
Lock it on.
So there's a perfect guard by Brent Lang. Do you realize that Brent Lang has got more Grand Slam victories than Kevin Martin?
It's all there.
Is that right?
Throw there.
T-line, back 4. Okay, close. Yep.
Definitely
He's at
Really hard
six.
line.
He's at 16, and
Whoa.
Kevin's only got
Wait,
15.
Get real tight. It's really tight, though. Yep, well, Scott, clean. Clean. Scott. You gotta go hard. You gotta go hard. You gotta go hard.
Great sweeping there. Got it by.
Wow, that's a great shot by Tim March. Gets it locked on, and here we go again.
Could be slow on that side, like you said.
Yep.
Line's good.
Yep.
See a series of freezes here, I think.
Matt Cam making his second appearance here at the
Come on, Fry.
Tankard.
Come on. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Ooh.
Just squeezes by.
No finish on those.
Yeah.
Good weight.
Well, at least, he
On those.
he got that in there, so it's in a real good spot. And now Glenn's going to have to deal with it.
Good throws on you.
I think so.
No.
So the run back coming up here.
You think
David
that
Mathers.
would have been in the hunt, though. I was worried I was sliding.
Hard.
Really hard.
Straight back here by David Mathers.
Okay.
Well done.
Spills 2 yellows and almost covers his blue
Too
shot
hard to get through
stone.
that hole.
I just can't get over how dead that is. I know. Like, God, I threw that pretty darn hard. And we hit the rock we were trying to hit. And I moved it 4 feet.
Look at the other one. Shot out of the house. Redirected off the other one.
Doesn't make sense.
Oh, I guess we only hit a quarter of the top one.
Yeah.
But if I don't hit
I
it,
think
yeah,
so.
I
Which
guess
one do you
I'll
like?
thicker, but-
What do you guys? Off the yellow.
What do you like, Matty?
Right on the nose on the blue here. Through the hole.
Okay. Hack.
Speed's going to be close here, guys.
What did he do this time? Oh, wait, is that the last
Now, the
one?
last time they played on this sheet, this would have been a really, really straight path.
Close. Whoa.
Intern.
Close. Yep.
John's getting Matt Cam to try to thread the needle here
Oh, yeah.
and get the Howard stone. Good looking
Clean.
stone coming here.
Clean.
Look at this. Just clean it in.
Attaboy.
He's even going to get a
Double in the roll.
very
That's a
nice.
hell of a shot. Well, obviously this gives David Mathers the opportunity to make a double and try to get his
Might be hard to
shooter
get that out.
buried behind the corner
Make
guard.
sure of this one. Normal. Weight's good. Yep. Whoa. Low 10. Yep. Hard tip. Whoa.
Really close.
Beauty.
Oh, what a great shot by David Mathers.
It's exactly
Well.
what he called.
So far, going to see a replay of that.
Hack.
He hits great sweeping by Tim March here, going hard to keep the line. Gets them both out of play. Ryan Fry now going to
Pretty straight.
try to throw a hack to board weight shot here and
Yeah.
Trying to get some,
trying to get to the shooter.
Keep going.
Trying
got a
to
piece,
carve
but
it
he's
in
going to
here.
roll out, I think. Oh, he just hangs around. Oh, But Glenn having hammer, he's not going to worry about that one.
Well, Glenn's,
get there.
he's trying to, he's after 2 points or more here.
Unless you hit that. Whatever you like.
I can't hear you.
Whatever you like. Okay. Normal? The weight?
So they're
Okay, so
Well, for Scott Howard here, his biggest chore here is going to try to navigate the port. The rocks are curling so much that even though these rocks are staggered, it's kind of what we call going through the port backwards.
right.
Because normally you like to go the other way.
Dave hit it a bit. Dave hit it a bit. Okay, line's good. Line's good.
Whoa, it's real heavy.
This should be quick here.
If you can, Dave.
Cross the
Go,
line.
Dave. Go.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Keep going.
It's wide open. Keep going. Keep going.
Go.
That slid well, eh?
Slid really well, eh?
Want to freeze that?
Slid well,
It
eh?
curled
Pretty
so
wide
much. I mean,
change.
it just made it past that
Chase is
long
fine.
blue guard, and it ended up buried behind the other corner guard.
Pretty good.
That's a tremendous finish.
Or
Just through.
That's the faster side.
Well, it's a great shot here. Now for Ryan Fry, he's got to try to follow him down and try to tap him through. If he can tap him through, this is kind of what John Epping's hoping, that he can force Glenn to a single point here. You know, they just watched Matt Cam kind of go down the same path, so they know what it's going to do.
Matt.
Trying to carve this thing in here.
He's got it.
Oh, and he's got a great shot. A perfect shot by
Or Ryan.
Ryan Fry.
Good throws.
Well, for Scott Howard, everybody wants a second chance to make their shot, so I expect him to be really close to getting full 8 foot, if not a piece of the 4 foot here.
A little bit early.
Buried behind their own corner guard.
Yeah, this is really going to curl in
Hard,
here.
Tim. Line's good. Okay, line's good. Over curl of Edling. Okay, whoa. Line's perfect, boys. You gotta go. Come on. Dave. Big curl. Big curl. Go, Dave. Go.
Pretty good. Not shot, but pretty good.
I think that line needs to be patented by the Howards. The line's perfect.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I'm sweeping it.
Yeah.
What do you got there?
Obviously, Uncle Russ sort of making,
Really fast?
that was always his famous line, so it's nice to see it's come down another generation.
Yeah.
Why? Well, I run and he knows I can have a double. I can hit that. Back line.
Yeah, for sure.
Solid back line.
Foot more, eh? I know.
Light hack?
Jumped on you.
What?
Just true kind of thing?
Yeah, like light hack.
Well, Barb, I think that
Take off it.
Yeah,
Get about a quarter of it, John, a little less.
I think this is going to be really difficult for John Epping. Like they've just watched this twice though, but this rock is up in the top 8 foot.
It's a little less.
I'm not sure he's going to be able to totally remove it from play. He might be able to tuck it out and flop over and lay 2, but it's going to be absolutely have to be precise.
Well, yeah, but it's not that far behind the guard, and it has to move a long way after it passes the guard.
This is a whole cheater line.
Hard!
Keep going.
Whoa!
Yeah. That was super quiet weight.
Yeah. Hey, John.
I like sitting too.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Hit and roll, I
the
guess.
challenge now for Glenn is actually where can he put it and not give John Epping a double. If he noses it, John will walk up and probably play the slash double by a out-turn heater down the sheet. And if he rolls, then you know what, he may try a thin double.
Straight spot before, do you?
Yeah, they're talking about rolling behind cover there, but
I
that's,
got
like you
boards.
just
I'd like
said,
to
that
hold
sets
Scott's
up.
room.
Can I give it a bit?
Well, I have a run at the double. Hit and roll, whatever, yeah.
You know, we mentioned
Fair
earlier
mark.
in one of our different games that
Yeah, agreed.
to be really effective, you have to be planning ahead a couple of shots, and these guys have already talked about what they're what they're going to throw next. The shot hasn't even been made yet, and they're talking about what they're next.
Right out of the hand.
Whoa. Right two! Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Holy.
Dave, you gotta go! Hard, Dave!
Trying to make sure this hangs around. Oh, is it going to hang in there?
That's heavy.
That was
Yeah, just a little more weight than they were.
Screaming, whoa, who was yelling sweep?
Yeah, I like it.
Wow, that's an unforced error for Glenn Howard. He needed to hang around in the ring somewhere, out counting the only other stone there from John Epping. So at this point, John's going to remove this stone and force Glenn to a single.
Like, I'm trying to make the fucking shot.
control. Yeah, that's hard. Got it going again. Really got to go.
John Epping with the open hit. Does exactly that.
All right.
Now for Glenn Howard, he will draw and try to get a full piece of the 8-foot to get his single point. Well, this is where, you know, as great champions, you know,
Okay, I can throw that light.
and being who Glenn has done, he's done this a million times. You know, great skips have amnesia. They got to forget about the shots they've just missed.
Yeah.
Move along and concentrate on the shot at hand. Well, he threw this in the draw to the button, so the same path. I fully expect that
A lot tighter, though. It's a lot tighter.
he'll be close.
Really curling. You're in the fresh stuff.
Yeah, we did mention that it's one of his favorite shots.
Broom
Is
down,
out
broom
turn
down.
draw.
Yeah, it's 14-7, hog to hog. He should be just fine. That's a single point here for Glenn Howard at the completion of the second end of play. They are tied at 1.
In our other games, we have Jason Cam leading Matt Hall by a score of 2-1.
I tipped that over a bit, it shouldn't help. I feel
They
a
haven't
little
finished the
harder,
second end in the Wilsey
pretty close to draw.
Ferris game yet, so we'll update you when that's done.
Okay, well, we just scream
And
louder?
they're all
What do you
tied
think?
up,
We just-
McDonald
who
and
says you
Allen at
can't hear us?
2-2.
I was yelling. Whoa, whoa. I yelled.
He yelled hard. You yelled go, and then I saw it. We were yelling really heavy.
Howard team are still discussing the sweeping call on Glenn's first rock.
Whoa, okay.
Because it was a, you know, it's too bad. He needed to hang around, like as you mentioned, just to outcount that little biter that was over in the side of the 12-foot.
I know, and I could see
Well,
him
it's,
holding
you know
it,
what,
holding it
it's
like crazy. I mean,
it's
that's
so
great spot.
uncharacteristic
It's not gonna
of a team of this caliber to make a sweeping
That's what I call it.
mistake
Yeah,
like they
I
just
think the weight
made.
was close. It's
You
just
know,
a
and it's kind
you
of
just hammered it. And it's not your fault. No, I'm not
two different
blaming you.
guys seeing
We
do
just
two
gotta get
different
communication.
things,
That's
and
all I can say.
probably not enough communication to both the thrower and the guy in the house as to what kind of weight he had.
Yeah.
Well, they have to park it now, like you said. They're
Tim, like when you sweep, it doesn't curl.
professionals.
If that curls at all, it's perfect.
And the guys are still talking about it, so they they really are upset about that call.
Well, there are certain individuals who are very, very effective sweepers, and Tim March is one of them. And I think they kind of feel like the angle he gets his broom at, that he can affect the rock, and that's why we've had this directional sweeping now for 3 years. So it's like, you know, and he has a massive impact. So when he's on the inside and he's keeping it straight,
Right.
you know what? It's going to affect the outcome of the stone, and that's exactly what happened there. So like you say, they're going to have to park
Line's
it, move
good.
along.
Line's real good. Anchor will come down on that one.
So even though
Line, buddy.
John
Come on,
Epping
come
didn't
on,
win the
come
draw
on,
to the
boys.
button,
Go,
and
you
now it
gotta go.
becomes an
Don't
8-end
worry about
game,
mine,
and
get
he's
in
got the hammer.
Good. Got.
Right around, Langer.
Perfect guard by Tim March. Brent Lang now throwing
Line's
his
good.
in turn.
That side's a hair slower, eh?
Line's good.
It's hard.
I was
Line's
wrong
really
in my
good.
assessment.
Top eight.
Apparently,
Line's really
Kevin
good.
Martin has got
Just top
18
eight.
slams.
Just
Oh,
wait.
you've been
Line's great.
corrected.
I've been
Play the
corrected.
weight. Line's great.
But I told
Brent
him
only has 16?
yeah, he's only got 16.
Oh, but he's still playing.
But I did say that Kevin needs to update his Wikipedia page.
So he's probably going to get right on that then.
Yeah.
Would you like the same? Go same turn. Go here, Tim.
Need a little more with this rock.
Great throw.
Well, Brent Lang gets it in top 8, and that's, for a lead, if you can put it in that spot every time, it really makes life difficult for the opposition.
Do it now. Looks heavy.
Yeah,
Because they can try to go all the way around it, but you're vulnerable
Really
at
got
that
to curl.
point.
Dave. It's heavy, Dave.
It's all around.
Really got to go. Make it curl.
It's going to go sideways, though.
I don't think you have to make it curl here.
Go, keep going. 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 It's going in good.
T-line.
Hard, Dave. Hard, Dave.
What is it that your former skip says, that if you could draw to the 8-foot and
Makes
hit and
sense to
stick,
get rid of that one.
you can win the game?
Move it an inch.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time when I'm watching coverage of the Grand Slams, and they say that Wayne Middahl, that was his mantra.
Well, I competed a lot of years against the late, great Neil Harrison, and he used to plunk that rock right there every time, and it used to be the biggest thorn on my side, being a second guy that used to kind of follow him. And so, when I see these guys do it, even though the conditions are curling more now than in those
Mike,
days.
come down.
Too late.
Go ahead, Fry. Whoa, Matt. Whoa.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
Little bounce.
Whoa. Just let it sit.
Wow.
Oh, we just continue to be amazed at the amount of curl here on both turns.
No, run her back.
Did.
Leave
Well,
it center.
Dead straight.
Yeah, Glenn doesn't want to, these rocks are at the top of the rings. They're almost a nuisance to him right now.
Started about halfway.
And so he's not going to take any chances. He's going to get David Mathers to run this stone straight back.
Thinking top 14.
So you're going to see Peel straight back.
Whoa. Get.
Really close.
Hard. Oh, Christ.
We hit the wrong one first.
Well, it just, all of a sudden it just comes up a half inch or an inch, and you lose it.
Not easy calling line, eh?
7 on.
Yeah.
7's a pig, huh? Okay. Okay.
Back 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, back 8, back 12.
The guard's the 1, Rod. If you threw the 7 side.
7 slow, 1 quick.
Okay, gotcha. Just let me know what's coming. Go 1 or 7. It curled.
Yep. Really hard.
It's picking.
I have to say we haven't seen too many picks on this sheet so far this week.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, well.
Picking.
Oh, I'm not going to guard it this way, Langer, are you? I hope so. They don't go far enough.
Hit something. I like to call.
Well, nobody likes to see a pick, but it's funny when these two teams play. There always seems to be a few more. So whether it's
Like that or this.
their shoes, their
Won't be
equipment,
shot.
I'm not sure.
They go around. Make it freeze.
It could be anything. It could have been an impurity on the
Solid-
bottom of his
solid
rock
hack.
before he threw it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
I'm better to make a split.
It's unfortunate, but it's a part of the game, and we've all had to deal with it.
Weight's good.
Yep.
Air quiet.
Whoa.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
David Mathers
Close.
Air
Yep.
quiet.
Yep.
trying to get
Oh,
around
keep
this
going,
and
Scott. Keep
hit
going,
and roll
Scott.
inside
Keep
if he
going,
can.
Scott. Keep going. Shot, Davey.
That's absolute pistol by David Mathers.
That curls.
Shot.
You like playing that freeze? And then okay.
Because there's no way that curls there. That was, you were a hair high all the way down. I agree.
Oh, they're still talking about the run back.
Half. Third.
Well, I don't think Glenn's giving the ice maker credit for they've worked on this sheet. It's a little different sheet than last time he played here.
Yeah, I think it's very different.
Yeah. Matt Cam not taking any chances. Ooh, trying to spin this off. He gets that a little too thin.
Yeah.
And how the tide turns.
I like solid board.
From John Epping being in a really good position for an end, all of a sudden 2 rocks later, you know, Glenn Howard's hitting delay 2.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, Tim. Whoa, Tim. Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. 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 Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go hard. Gotta go hard. Gotta go hard. Gotta go hard. Gotta go hard.
Look at that.
Really jumped there.
Oh my God, get it out. Oh, for God's sakes. No.
Gee, and they were off of that most of the way.
That slow in there?
Nose.
Is that slow in there?
Well, if we nose, he's going to have this.
So listening into John
Unless you wanna try
Epping
and roll
there. Doesn't want to nose this because then it'll give Glenn the free run at the double.
Okay.
But if he rolls
You
inside,
like board?
then you'll probably see Glenn freeze to it.
No.
Holy cow.
Have you spoken to anybody else about the other sheets? Like, are they having the same issues on the other sheets? Like, they seem like they're very surprised at the conditions of this sheet.
For the most part, I'm an observer
Is
like
nose
you
okay?
are. And
Yeah.
to me, the conditions
likes to
look
choke this off.
weight-wise, they've been really good.
Okay. What
You
kind
know,
of weight
it's-
you like?
These
Solid
guys
board?
ordinarily on their
Okay.
straight
A lot
backs, they
more than
take
that
about
last
an inch
one.
of ice, inch off the nose, and try to throw it, let it go, and it sort of curls up an inch. What's happening out here is that they're taking that and
Yep.
they're just not quite sure when it's going to break, and they
Gotta
keep waiting and
go.
waiting and waiting, and then all of a sudden the
Really
rock
gotta
jumps,
go.
and then they've
Hard,
lost
Tim.
it.
Really
So-
gotta go, Tim. Hard,
So it's
Tim.
more about the
You gotta go hard,
anticipation
Tim.
factor.
Gotta go really hard, Tim. Oh God, that's not heavy, is it? I guess so.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thought I threw that pretty good.
Jams, but he has to play
Control.
a
A lot more
gutsy roll.
Unless you turned it.
He wanted the outside roll there, and he ended up
Shouldn't have curled that
hitting
much.
it on the inside and losing his shooter.
Well, that's, he tried to play more of a controlled weight hit on it, hit and roll to it.
I do,
To me,
yeah,
sometimes
I
you
really
just
do.
gotta, throw the high hard one, take advantage of it, and make the splash double and move along.
Whoa, whoa.
I think they're trying to get too cute out here. Trying to hit and lay 2 here. Ryan Fry.
Hard. That's good.
Good.
Go Fry.
I'm going to do that same solid board. Yeah. And hope it
Good
carves
job, buddy.
in.
Straight right now.
You should be able to.
Yeah. Yeah. Not crazy, though.
Just wants a little flip in behind that guard, I think.
Well, for Glenn here, I think he would probably love to just get a little soft little flip in behind, and then you'll probably see
So I'm thinking solid board
John
again.
might chase after it, knowing that this intern coming this way, that it carves in there really nice.
Okay.
He'll probably be able to tap it through, and or he may freeze to it and then give Glenn the opportunity to freeze back.
Whoa. Whoa. Close, close.
Glenn Howard, the
Dave.
4-time
Dave,
Canadian
really
and world
gotta go,
champion.
Dave. Hard,
It'll
hard,
go, it's
hard.
gonna go hard.
Really gotta go. Hard, hard, harder. You gotta go to stay. Gotta go, Dave. Go, go, go.
Stay.
Sweet.
They're kind of not
Yeah.
getting the same
Yeah.
So nervous
action.
it's slowing it down now.
I think so.
So that one undercurled. Everything's been overcurling on them, and that one undercurled.
Curl the ton, because I was out to you and heavy.
Well, there you go. You know, Glenn sort of saying that he was out to it and he was heavy and it still curled up. So.
Control.
Kind of weight, John?
Control.
So it scared the baby because you didn't.
Yeah, basically.
So.
So John not wanting to sit right there.
Control. Whoa. Matt.
Well, if he can get any type of rollover to the center of the sheet.
Langer. Way over.
And that's a perfect roll by John Epping.
It's like you have to get you going though, because.
What's that?
So now for
Yeah, I agree.
Glenn Howard, he's got.
Same thing against those.
He really doesn't have a lot of options here. You know, he could try drawing around the corner, but if he leaves any part of it and they chip him out and get 3, it's even uglier. He's just going to take out this back Yellowstone, roll away, and if he can nose it or get to the inside, then at least he forces John to make a shot for his 2 points.
Same we think. It looks like a long way to go, but everything seems to be curling here.
Getting a little scary. Yeah.
Yep. Just clean. Just clean. It's got to curl. Got to really curl.
He's got a lot of weight here. He may have overthrown this.
Hard Tim, right to it.
So for John Epping here, he's going to have an open draw to the rings to score 2 here in the third end and jump out to a 3-1 lead.
14-7. Yeah, so it's not.
Barb, you might be right. Maybe it's the Langer factor.
It's throwing so much and it's just gross.
That weight, I agree.
You know, I think we just take a lot of ice, throw it quieter. And yeah, it's smoking.
John Epping, the 36-year-old curling consultant, does a lot of work with the Beijing University, training a group over there. 1484, that should be just fine. And that's 2 points for John Epping.
Good job, guys. It's going to be a battle with this ice. It's going to be a battle.
John was hard and out to it. And
Yeah.
he almost missed the shit.
Crazy. Yeah. I like to bring the weight down. I fired that last one. It's just,
So we'll get caught up here. Matt Holst stole 2 in the third end, and he now leads Jason Cam by a score of 3-2.
The quieter stuff. Mind you, like normally you can
Our game on sheet C is tied at 1. And over on sheet D,
So even that weight, we're carving
the score is 4-2.
I don't know. I just had
For-
that pick there and
I can't see who's on top of there for Team McDonald.
short in the first. That was me though. I think it's close.
4 games in action tonight, all having big implications to the final standings. Obviously, John Epping right now at
The whole sheet's like this.
5-0, looking to extend his lead. Glenn Howard in second right now at 5-1.
Just said it.
Yeah.
So if the Epping team can win this game, they will definitely separate themselves from the field.
Yeah.
Keep it
And if
broom down.
McDonald
keep it
and
broom down.
Wilsey win and Howard loses, there'll be a 3-way tie for second. Be an exciting day tomorrow.
So we will keep an eye on all these standings as we come down to the conclusion of round robin play tomorrow evening.
Back, boys. To the 4. Throw Langer.
Perfect throw by Brent Lang, the entrepreneur involved with WFG Financial and the Weed Man.
We gonna kill it?
Really curling.
No.
Tim March trying to get the corner guard up here.
Yeah.
Howard and Mathers going hard.
Okay.
What's that?
You want to bump it?
Brent Lang,
Okay,
a
yeah,
12
let's try and
times
move it.
Brier participant, 3-time Canadian and
Back
world
4.
champion. He's an Olympian as well.
It's good. Back 4. Weight's perfect.
Whoa!
Trying to tap this back a little bit.
Yep! Yep! Yep!
Look at that curl.
Yep! Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah, great shot.
All right, throw in there.
Well, for John Epping, he's trying to play the scoreboard. He's trying to sort of protect the button at this point. He knows that Glenn's going to go around the corner guard here.
Bury it, Tim.
He's probably just going to try to get just short of the rings.
Right here.
And then you'll probably see John Epping throw up a tight center guard.
Line's good. Dave a bit. Dave if you can. You go, Dave. All you got, buddy. Okay, easy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Overbury it. Okay, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Good shot. Shot, Tim. That's slow, yeah. Yeah.
So as you predicted, here comes the tight center.
Well, and this is the one that's pending where this rock finishes for Matt
Little bit
Cam.
early.
You know, depending on which rock he's
Yes.
actually guarding,
Guarding, yeah.
you know, you'll probably see
We gotta
Dave
stop.
Mathers go after something with either a little backline to hack weight shot and or he may just splash them all.
This is
Okay, man.
over curling. Giving the Howard team a chance to make a play on those rocks in the rings.
Well,
The yellow's probably staying, but it's behind the corners.
it's a difficult spot for Glenn to navigate
Probably do
because
this.
if he's going to make the double, he's going to he
Wait.
might roll out
Hey.
and then give John a chance to go right back in
Yeah.
there. If he noses it, then that's probably his best best chance is probably to nose.
Keeping on your toes, a little bit of work. You know what you're signing up for here.
Yep.
Weight's good.
Hard. Whoa, whoa.
Weight's good.
Whoa, Tim. Hard, Tim. Hard, Tim. Really hard, Tim.
Gotta at
Really
least
hard,
touch the
Tim.
line.
Really hard, Tim. Really hard, Tim. Really hard, Tim.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, he saves his shooter.
Wow, that's that's great touch by David Mathers. I didn't think he could actually pick that out and save it. So,
He just missed the back one, too.
well, this just now for John Epping, this is just kind of a matter of he's going to try to hit and roll into the 8-foot, trying to narrow the rings down a bit. But then it's going to give Glenn Howard the opportunity to go after the rock on the button.
Later. Sorry, nah, too late. Okay. Attaboy, Matty, good throw.
Moving it 2 rocks. Move it 2 rocks. Try and go that if we can.
Shot, buddy.
You want to throw? Yeah. Do you want? Can we throw it lighter? Just here. Yeah. Yeah, I do. What's that? Too. Okay. Well, what do you like? You want more? Take it.
Yeah, wrecking on the guards, no good here.
About there. Oh no way! It was like here.
Yeah, if he's only throwing back 8.
Whatever you think. I think that's lots.
Well, it's one thing for these guys to sort of put their 2 cents in, but you've got to execute here, and that's the end of the day. Is they're trying to give it a chance. So David Mathers is going to try to throw this out turn and try to tap the Epping stone to the back 8-foot.
A little slower
Weight's good.
and then add
Whoa.
more. Set.
Oh, I don't think he needs to make it curl.
Whoa. Got. Whoa. Tim. Tim. Oh, we could have went.
These guys are a very effective duo sweeping. Scott Howard and Tim March.
Tim goes. It's perfect.
Yeah.
We could have made that, Dave.
Should be able to hold it.
Oh, yeah. Not really.
Yep. Whoa.
Ryan Fry now going to try to remove the Howard stone.
Yep. Whoa. Solid act. Langer. Langer.
Langer hard. Getting close to the line here. Go, 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 go.
That's a great throw. That's my fault.
Good
Great throw. That's my fault.
And he could only see like a sliver of that. He's still got it.
Well, he had kind of half the rock, but you know, rolling out was unfortunate.
If you do the center, hopefully he rolls out, then go around the corner.
Probably
I like
get
the
it
center.
buried, you won't be shot.
Center. We saying speed's normal, boys? So that same weight I gave you top 4? That same weight, go off the weight.
So now this is going to give Scott Howard the opportunity to wrap around the Epping guard.
I gave you the feet, boys.
Where? Rope.
Try to get a top 4
Close.
buried.
Tight. Dave. Okay, whoa. Over curl. You gotta go, Dave. You gotta go, Dave. You gotta go, Dave.
Good looking,
Sideways.
good looking shot here.
Whoa. It's a good spot.
It's
Well
curled
done.
and straightened right up.
14-6.
Yeah.
Wow, we are getting
right up
exposed to some great shot making here. These guys, it's like punch, counter punch. Ryan Fry going to run the center guard back.
Yep.
Hard.
Whoa. Whoa.
Really close.
Yep. Whoa. Sorry. Whoa. Ah. Sorry, Fry.
Throw it, Ryan.
Sorry, buddy.
Still can't make
Same
use of
weighting,
their
boys?
nice double corner though, because they won't be shot if they draw around there.
No.
It's gonna fall back that much.
You know, it's just going to be when who makes the an unforced error or a miscue here or there.
Yeah, I do. I got a good eye out.
Scott Howard getting the opportunity to
Easy, Dave.
go
easy,
around
Dave,
this
easy,
center
Dave.
guard again.
Room. You got a lot more line. Room. Don't sweep it then.
Hard, Tim. Okay, yep. Whoa.
Line's really good. Get ready, Tim. No.
14-5, that should be close to
ready, go.
T-line.
Whoa. Just hair out the other side's good. Good shot.
Thanks.
Two really nice draws by Scott Howard.
Range, not too bad. We
Great control, and like I say, these guys, you know, you're witnessing, you know, a team that is so good with the brooms. Like they're almost like joysticks, trying to keep it straight and make it curl.
So the same order? The first one I thought jumped on you.
Yeah.
You did set that one back.
You think with all these joysticks now that the younger kids would be into playing.
So they're electing not to play the run back this time. He's just going to draw down to that. Can actually get shot stone out of this by corner freezing.
Well, if there's anything bad about the Scott Howard shot, he's probably
real close.
a foot or two too deep.
It's there.
You know, it's going to give John Epping the chance to lock it on.
Just line here, Fry. Just line.
Yep.
Little bounce. It's losing handle, but. Sure, John.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 inches?
Yeah.
Similar to Dave's, eh?
I try to get low.
Great shot by John Epping.
That was a soft pick coming in.
Perfectly swept.
They thought
I
it
get
grabbed.
the wood
Yeah.
and that's not going out.
As the stone came in, it started to lose its handle, and you know, it's almost like a Phil Necro knuckleball coming in.
Well, just if he noses it.
So just trying to set up an angle here for his
6
next.
inches to a foot.
Yeah, I think he's trying to tap this thing right on the nose, on the angle a little bit, and release his back rock without knocking it too far. Glenn Howard, the 57-year-old retired beer store manager.
Whoa. Line's good. Easy, Tim. Get ready, Dave.
I think
Yep,
with
Dave.
now that he is retired, I think he gets the curl a little bit more.
Yep. Yep. Keep going, Tim. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Shot.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wanted.
Guard it.
I was thinking guard.
Great shot.
Guard it. Guard the blue.
Well, for John Epping, it's he's got to get this either very long so he can't move it, or get inside the other stone and cut off the guard, the angle. So Glenn won't have the straight back on the guard, because that's going to be his next move, trying to score.
Dave scared me. I liked it. Dave goes, God, I gotta go for it. I like it. Oh, Jesus. It wasn't heavy. He was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just around it.
Yeah, so just short of the rings and a touch around that yellow guard, so we take away the angle as you suggested.
Oh yeah, if he could get half in the 12-foot, just with half of it buried, then it'll almost take away all the angles for Glenn.
Short.
Yep.
Brent Lang and Matthew Cam.
You can't.
Not there.
Well, they're looking for plan B. If this walks across the line, you're going to see Glenn Howard with an opportunity for 3 points.
Hey, John.
Yeah, I think that
What he just played, really maybe a hair more weight just to punch that yellow one out of the 4-foot.
well, I think he kind of,
weight do
as
you guys think?
the
almost
Turtles
need
would call it,
hack.
kind of dead fished the handle. He didn't have enough punch on his release, and so it just kind of, there's nothing the sweepers could do
That
with it.
line might not move it far enough. I think I need at least hack. Let's go hack.
Yeah. Dave almost threw this. Yeah, that's close.
Big chance here for Team Howard.
Well, it's a great chance. Now, his only challenge is that the rocks aren't only overly lively. So he needs to have like hack weight so he can remove that rock
You can get her to move
back far enough. The fact that he's got Tim March on the high side here, you know,
10 feet
you're going to
one I just
see
threw.
probably see a lot of carving coming in. Glenn Howard, last stone here in the 4th end of play.
Whoa, close. Close. Whoa, close. Get ready, Tim. Tim.
Oh, God, they might have waited too
Hard,
long.
Tim.
He's going
Hard,
hard.
Tim.
It's going in there. It's going in there hard. Can he get enough of it?
Oh, he doesn't move it far enough.
No. Well, that's going to be a steal of a huge point for John Epping. And unfortunately for Glenn Howard, there's just no spring to these rocks. So after 4 ends of play, John Epping will have a 4-1 lead. And, well, we saw Glenn out here against Pat Ferris the other day, and he was up 5, and Pat seemed to carve his way back.
Yeah.
Well, that was an excellent opportunity. I think they just have to continue to dig, and they'll get their chances again.
Oh, 100%, yes.
This ice is just so swingy that, I mean, you can make anything curl here with these guys the way they sweep.
I thought you were going to make it nose for fun.
Let's get caught up here. It's 4-3 in favor of Jason Cam over Matt Hall.
Yeah. Good throw.
Just posting the score here on Wilsey Ferris game. It's 3-1 in favor of Ferris. And over McDonald and Allen, the score is 4-3 in McDonald's favor. So McDonald is winning like he needs to, and Wilsey is behind.
Dave, it looks so good. So good. I thought Tim could have overcarved it.
Top of the button if you can, guys. Top of the button would be awesome.
Well, as we sort of discussed, these
Top of the
guys
button.
need to sort of
I'll go.
try to park it right now. It's difficult because as curlers, we've got really long memories. We remember shots from 20, 30 years ago.
But mostly the ones you missed. Don't you find that?
Oh, no. There's the odd one we made, too.
Find the ones you miss are the ones that stick with you
Yeah.
more. The
But
what
there-
ifs.
There's nothing better than sitting around with the
Easy,
boys and having
really
some
heavy?
Kool-Aid and and reminiscing about stories how we've won and lost.
Yeah.
That should have curled.
He threw a
We're
perfect.
still talking about it.
Anything. I'm thinking that.
So
why
Brent
was that not
Lang
curled?
gets
Big
it
swoop?
top 4 foot, and Tim March
Can't
gets the
believe it.
corner guard up, and here we go again.
Get the angle or something. Oh, I love that. I don't. I'm going, okay, so did I. I'm going, why is that not curling? And it just, the weight was perfect. Perfect weight.
Well, Epping's got them scratching their heads, so
Well, for Glenn, you know, he's thrown some,
There right now, John.
perfect shots, as always, and not getting the results, which is unfortunate. You know, they had the miscue there in the second
ahead,
end
Fry. Go ahead,
where they
Fry.
probably should have got 2
Go ahead,
points.
Fry.
I want to sweep it.
Go
And
ahead,
unfortunately, that hurts.
Fry. Yep.
Curl.
Yep. Good.
Okay.
double
like
corner
it.
here
Fix
coming
over.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got good
Room.
Yep, a little bit.
No, line's good.
Weight's perfect. Got to stop.
Whoa.
Oh, I can judge it.
Line's pretty good. No, line's good. No, it's good. It's fine. It's fine. Line's
Are
good.
you gonna play it with
Boy,
that
Tim.
turn anymore?
Well, Tim putting up 2 perfect corner guards here, but the only challenge with that is kind of like we said last end. It's curling so much that for Glenn it sort of cuts off. Probably going to end up cutting off the out turn, trying to get behind or trying to get anything, unless Matt Camier is to leave his guard out just to the right of center as we're looking at it.
Hard. Hard, Langer.
Going hard, trying to get this to the center line if they can.
Go.
Well, that's it's almost like we said.
It's a small window here.
Yeah. Oh, you can for sure knows that.
Okay.
You can see what about half? Oh, you can see more than half.
Hack.
Well, he's only going to be able to move one from play.
Right.
And he may only be able to move it just back because he's going to want to control his shooter and roll in buried behind his.
And if he's only
His
throwing
corner guards.
hack, and we talk about how unlively these rocks are. If there's such a word as unlively.
Solid hack.
David Mathers here, 28-year-old from Ottawa.
Hard, Tim.
Hard, Tim.
He
Keep
may
going.
overcarve this.
You're
He's
moving
going to.
it, You're moving it.
I think he did an amazing
God,
job
this
of
is
making that
unbelievable.
curl.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
You just kill the way they would curl it. Like it's crazy.
You want to try and make the hit and roll?
So what could possibly make these rocks so dead?
Control.
Control.
Well, what happens
if you
to
touch any
curling
of this
rocks
with
after
hack,
a
it's
while
not
is the
getting
striking
out.
bands sort of get worn
You
down,
gotta, like, it's
and
crazy, eh, Dave?
every once in a while they've got to
Like when you hit the
sort of refinish the striking band to give it that
Like
liveliness.
you can throw even normal, but you got
So
to
they
make
get too fat?
Okay, control.
They're
No.
not
Hey,
as
gotta be low.
Got to be low.
like as sharp on the rock?
Well, I think
Control.
these pounds are these rocks are only about 39 pounds too, so they're a little bit on the light side.
Whoa. Banger.
Matt Cam
Really hard.
looks
Really
like he's
hard.
trying to pop this Howard Stone out.
Okay. Corner freeze is pretty. Can't make it. You can't make it. Okay, but yeah.
So it's like we said, this corner guard it's not over far enough. Unfortunately, with the intern, he can't even can't get in there.
Get anything in here.
Yeah.
I kind of like going back to the yellow.
I do too. Try best I can. Try and get it low.
I like this, Timmer.
David Mather is now going to try to lock this on this rock in the back 8 foot, and hopefully that'll be there for the balance of the end.
He went to here. Yeah. I think give it a bit, Davey. You'll need 5 feet. I got light.
So hair tight.
Weight's good.
Line's tight.
Yeah, I gotta go weight.
Line only.
Oh, yeah, weight's there.
Whoa.
The weight looks pretty good, actually.
Go.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You gotta keep going. Keep going, line.
It's just going to really curl, eh?
Keep going.
These guys are.
Not bad. Keep going, Timmer.
Go, Tim, go.
Tim, that's actually
These
real
guys
good.
are
Real good.
such
Real good.
strong sweepers,
Shot.
and it makes a huge difference for
crazy,
Glenn Howard.
Good throw.
Hack! Okay.
I think we will.
Ryan Fry looking now to make a hit and roll in front of the Howard Stone.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. There. Yep. Whoa. Yes.
Really starting to curl now. Really starting to curl.
Oh, my. Lost the line on that, but he's going to
get
get
a
his
lucky
other one.
break, though.
I could probably tap the intern, eh?
Yeah. Must have, yeah.
Well, that's a fortunate break for John, but now for Glenn, it's like, where do you go? You know, because anywhere he goes, he's probably going to
Is that
give
yellow counting the blue?
Glenn or give John some
No, the
sort
other
of
one.
double.
The one back.
No.
Oh, yeah.
1-3.
This one's
Okay.
sideways.
Try to freeze nose.
Good throw.
Where else do
Freeze
we go?
nose.
Well, the other shot that they're not even really
Freeze
looking at
nose.
is, you know, he could probably throw almost the same shot that Ryan Fry just threw. Try to chip the red over and flop over, and then it opens up this path behind this corner guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to come and have a look here.
The way it walks in there,
I don't
I
know.
think he could probably get there
I
with
think
even
it
with
hit it.
backline weight and was tap it back and have better position.
The tap the yellow one?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Team
You
5.
see anything better?
Tim, it's if you freeze it though, this is quarter rock dead.
You don't think? Okay. Okay. Problem is, it's just he's got the skinny double.
He's got the thinny double, boys. Yeah.
It's no picnic either. And then he noses it. Oh.
Maybe just sit 3. Sit 3. See what happens.
Yeah, give that a go. Problem if you do that and he makes a skinny double.
Chase that yellow.
Yeah.
That's your call.
The way it curls, I can hit a quarter of that yellow.
See, I'm not just a pretty face
Let's try
after
this.
all.
Yeah, I think so.
You're student of the game.
Oh. We're hitting it.
What's that?
Oh, you
Bet
like
you it's
the
been a
freeze?
while since you
No,
were called
tapping it.
student.
Okay.
Yeah, me and pretty is not something that that many people have used.
Back line, Davey. I'll let you know. Yeah, I thought Davey threw a bit, eh? Okay. It's good.
Pretty thin, though.
What did they decide on after all
I
that?
think they're going to try to come around, try and tap the Yellowstone back, and try to lay 3 and take their chances with
Whoa.
that John doesn't.
Whoa!
Isn't it amazing that they're throwing the in-turn on a rock that's fully exposed on the out-turn?
Hard, Tim! Hard, Tim! Oh, God. Hard, Tim!
You just kick the guard.
Hard. Go! I don't think he moved it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I love it when they say that. I don't think he moved it.
Oh, oh, thanks. I'm hoping.
It's coming up here, boys. You want to watch this?
Yeah, let's watch this.
It was more than that.
Let me know where it is on the
Oh, it's right on the top between the O and the N.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, about there.
Yeah.
That ever come down, eh? I thought I was through. Dave? I thought I was through.
Get them all, bud. Get them all.
Oh, there,
Yeah.
there, more.
Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, line's perfect. Just got to hit there with 2 more feet.
Well, for John Epping
Like
here,
that ice?
he has the opportunity to, with Ryan Fry here, he's going to wing this down here with
Like you said, though,
with peel weight and try to kill both the Howard Stones and maybe even get the third Howard Stone out.
Yeah, that's what I heard John say. Let's get them all.
Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Yes! Whoa!
Really close to here. Really close. Wow.
Same shot.
That's a great try by Ryan Fry. Well thrown.
Freeze that yellow is pretty good, isn't it? Good. I think so.
Hey, they were on, off, on, off. You know it's close when they're.
Nothing goes out of the house.
Look at that.
That was really hard to do.
Boys, I thought I threw that hard.
Hard to make the triple.
Same weight?
Yeah, super thin.
Hello?
You wanted to plant it. Almost.
Almost the exact same shot here for Scott Howard.
Whoa. A lot of room.
Trying to lock it on the
Looks heavy.
Epping stone
Line's okay.
that's poking is totally outside the other.
I thought less. Clean. Whoa. Got a curl. Dave. Okay, no, it's getting
Dave's
better.
rock.
Line's real good.
Dave's rock. Tim's rock.
Yep.
Tim's rock.
Oh, perfect. Shot, Gomer. Oh, that's tricky. I thought it threw a hairline.
The amount of finish on that is.
Yeah, I was thinking
Shooting,
peel
Gomer.
it.
Thanks, boy.
It came into the top of the rings and it needed to grow 2 feet.
Nose it.
Well, for John Epping now,
And
he
then
can try to come down here and nose and stay on the nose of that rock, or else he can try to slash it, and he might be able to
Yeah, I
get
like that.
both the red or both the blue stones moving out of the rings.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
I thought
for
my
sure.
first one was here when I let it go.
Yeah.
Oh. You got bumped at 6 inches. Tim's guard went so fast. Did it work fast? Yeah, really.
Hey, buddy.
Good shot. His rise just does nothing.
They're low.
This one, pretty hard.
John Epping would love to get back to his second Brier. He's only been to one. Try to proudly wear the Ontario colors. He's going to have to try and get by Mr. Howard here first, though.
Oh, straight. What do you?
Oh, they're making it
Oh,
curl.
wow. This has already gone across the face.
Good call, Fry.
Good
Call, Fry. Yep.
Good call.
Same thing.
We'll quickly get caught up here in the
Yeah, 'cause going back and makes a double.
game on sheet A. We have Team
we
Hall
can.
leading Team Cam by score of 5-4. Over on sheet C,
Yep.
Team Ferris has opened up a 3-point lead and
Yeah,
now
only
lead
throwing an inch.
Team Wilsey by a score of 4-1.
We did.
And scores
You always tell
5-3
them.
for McDonald over Allen. Those other 3 sheets have all completed their 5th
He looks
end
like he's
break.
whipping them.
Well, for Glenn Howard here, I think he would love to bite the top of the forefoot with just a piece sticking out over the center line.
I think so.
6 feet from the last.
And then
Okay.
for John Epping, he would have to navigate and try to remove one of the stones. I think right now, as long as Glenn gets this in their top 4 foot, I'm not sure he wants it all the way down to the back, because then John's going to be able to. John won't be able to freeze to it, and because there is no bounce, tough time getting the rock out.
Trying.
14 or 13.9.
It's always Tim.
Here it comes.
Nope.
At 13.97.
Nope, just let it stop. Let it stop. Shot.
Thanks.
Les, on the rock, bud. Almost.
I whipped it. Big guy.
Yeah. He doesn't realize how straight it is. Les, bud. Les. Yes.
He's clarifying which rock they're hitting because the broom's almost. John
Well, I
keeps
think
asking
John
for
is.
less ice.
Yeah, I think John's just looking to remove the Howard stone here, the back of the 4 foot, and he's basically conceding 2 points at this point.
Clean, just clean. Whoa.
Oh my God, it's backing up.
It is backing up.
So for Glenn Howard, he's going to have the exact same shot, and the draw to any piece of the 4 foot for 2 points.
Climb through. Okay.
Yeah, well, I saw it through the big handle. Give it a chance, eh? Okay.
No. It's the speed. The speed.
After the mop. After the mop, where it goes.
Come back to the
Oh yeah, it's good.
So last rock, heading to the break. He's got his 1 point secured.
I got lighter. Line's good.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey, you got room. It's really running now.
Don't think you can hurt it.
He was 13.9 last time.
Come on. Really running, boys. Really running.
14.3. If they hit it hard enough early.
Good eye, boys. Shot.
And there's a great draw by Glenn Howard to pick up 2 points. As we go into the 5th end break, it will be 4-3 for John Epping. Keep your streaming service tuned in here. We are going to take a short break here at the 5th end break for the boys. So on behalf of Curlon and TSL, we'll be right back.
It's mind-boggling to me.
It's going to be a fun second half.
Welcome back to the continuing coverage of our Ontario Men's Provincial Playdowns. Our feature game this evening is John Epping against Glenn Howard.
Halfway.
John Epping currently with a 1-point lead. He will get the hammer back this end. Well, Barb, I think it's been a great game so far. There's been a lot of shots made.
The ice conditions are great for shot making. If we were just talking at the break about making a tap back on a rock that's wide open and you have to take ice on the edge of the 12-foot.
Yeah. Tim March being asked to place his guard
I like the throw.
out front here.
Line's good.
Looks smoking.
Yeah, don't need to sweep it.
Yeah, I don't think Glenn will want him to
Coming down. Should come down.
slip into the rings.
T-line.
No, Tim, no.
Is that
How does it
sixth
pick up
end
that
syndrome?
It's unbelievable.
Like how much?
I don't think he threw it that hard.
Pick up a second and a half. Just for the ball.
Dave thought that was light.
Well,
Well,
yeah, John said it picked up a second.
Control.
And a half there.
You know, we've seen it all week long. You know, on the fifth end break, the ice kind of gets a chance to set as they mop it and clean it up, and they kind of pebble in front of the hacks just so that there's lots of pebble there throughout the game.
Whoa.
Yep.
And he slipped into the rings, and unfortunately now for Brent Lang, he gets a free hit and stay in the rings, and
Throw Langer.
Glenn's got to decide on whether he's going to throw a center guard or sort of
What do you like?
run this end, and they bank some time for later on.
Want to waste an end or hit it?
Okay, go there.
Okay,
Center
yeah.
line.
Yeah, it's not enough game left.
Yeah. Good throw.
Tight.
So by wasted end, they meant they just hit and play for the blank.
Well, that's why they asked the boys the question, eh? But they've decided to play, which is good.
Halfway.
It's good for
Okay,
us.
keep it out there, Scott. I don't want to guard this. Keep going, Scott. Keep going. Keep going. All the way. Keep going. Tighter the better. Tighter the better. Tighter the better. Okay.
Shot, Tim.
Boy, Tim.
Yeah, it's after the mop. That's what I figured.
No, I think it's close.
Yeah. I never wanted to sweep the first one. Yeah.
Well, the second one is absolutely perfect. But now John Epping gets the opportunity now to sort of split the rings.
He's drawing to the back 8 here.
Brent Lang, you know, the last thing he wants to do is throw this through the rings. But if he puts this deep in the house, it's gonna kind of force Glenn now to probably play a hit and roll on this rock in the top 12 foot and get it fully buried.
Throw Langer.
Good.
It's just what the doctor ordered there. Back 8.
Yeah.
Gradual. Should be straight.
David Mathers, his fiancée, was playing this afternoon for
Whoa, should be straight. Whoa.
Holly
Got a
Duncan.
bit.
Narrow down there. Good spot. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Try to roll in.
That's still a pretty good spot because now for John Epping, he's
Shot, Dave.
he can run up and peel the front guard if he wanted, and we would be back to trying to blank the end if he threw the double peel. But you know what? He's still going to try to push for the 2 points here.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Right to there, Langer. Good shot.
Knows it.
Great
Board.
shot by Matt Cam.
Yeah.
Gets them into the position of still laying 2, and
Okay.
I would think if David Mathers hit and rolled here, buried, that you'd probably see the slash, and we may see the blank end after all.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Tim. I'm trying to, okay. Just trying to get low, because. Shot.
But by him not getting low, that
Control.
prevents the double peel, right?
Control.
Wouldn't one of those just possibly go into that back yellow one?
You tell him the hits. They got lots down there.
He's just going to play the hit and roll here.
Yep. Whoa. Yep.
See?
Yep. Hard.
Matt Cam's got to get by the front one. Ryan Fry going hard to keep it straight. Wow. Now the question, do you take advantage of the center stones and draw in behind, or do you play the open stone?
I think he's calling for the hit and roll.
Solid board. Okay.
Well, he could hit and roll and get buried. And I think he'd rather do that, because then he'll know that that John's has to chase him.
Should curl, eh?
And John will probably come down and freeze it. At that point, John may change his tactics and just draw a top 4-foot.
Right, because this one is going to be behind the tee line if he makes the roll.
No.
Scott Howard here with the hit and roll.
Close. Tim. Hard, Tim.
Really going, he's trying. Did he make it? Oh, not quite.
Okay.
Control.
Looks like a
Ryan Fry now.
Whoa. Just a whoa.
I'll make this one.
throw.
The professional curler,
Easy roll.
originally hailing from Winnipeg. His father, Barry Fry, winning the
Same.
1979
You look
Brier.
normal now. Okay.
Throw, Ryan.
Leaving Howard no choice here. He has to make a play on this.
Well, I think it was
Close.
and then it was a great day for
Real hard.
Ryan to win the Brier in 2013.
Really hard, Dave.
And obviously
Really
even
hard,
better,
Dave.
getting the Olympic gold
Really
medal in
hard, Dave.
Sochi.
Go.
Are we going to be able to hang on to this?
This is quite normal.
Just a little shy of the weight, and it curled up on him, and he rolls out.
Hold that at all. It's perfect.
Now they'll draw around here.
Try. Get your hair quiet.
So top 4 would be perfect here.
Well, John's going on the offense here with the last
Weight's good.
Whoa.
Ryan Fry
Top
stone
4.
of this 6th
Whoa,
end of
man.
play.
Top 8.
Gonna go sideways here. Wait only, guys.
No, we're there.
Okay, well then.
Anything, Scott. Anything.
Whoa.
He digs. No.
Whoa.
Commit.
Slides just a bit deep.
Wow. That's kind of the worst place that Ryan Fry or John Epping would want that stone. You know, this is giving Glenn the opportunity to come down and freeze on it, and he'll be absolutely on the pinhole. And for John Epping, he's going to have to run his tight guard back to get anything.
So I'm throwing those pretty hard. What do you think? Okay. They're back button.
No, I think we could.
So we're all tied up on sheet A between Hall and Cam. We're all tied up on sheet D between McDonald and Allen. And Team Ferris still enjoys a 4-1 lead here on
Lines of hair tight.
Team Wilsey, but they're just completing their 6th end of play right now.
Line's good. Room. Whoa then. Line's good. Room. Line's real good. Line's good. You can't bounce on this line. Room. Dave's
Get it there.
Always Dave's rock. Leave it an in try. Leave it an in try, Dave. Great shot.
What a great
14,
shot by
Dave,
Glenn Howard.
14-6. Great shot.
Good talk, because I didn't throw it as hard as going the other way.
Yeah, I know.
I took a little off it.
A really great communication.
Third,
you know,
quarter,
Scott calling the line
quarter.
saying, you know, he couldn't afford to bounce on that line, and he just
God,
walked it in there beautifully.
every draw I'm throwing is a different speed.
Well, for John Epping here, it looks like just the way
The last-
Brian Fry lined up the angles, he's going to try to run his center guard
Those
here
positive handles now, they're not curling as much.
back across the face of the Yellowstone, and hopefully the Yellowstone then goes in towards the button area. Even if he just jiggles them around on the button.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Really close, really close. Oh, look at this, look at this.
Great shot.
Oh, oh my God, John.
Right. Right in the nose.
Glenn Howard is just sick. That is such a good shot.
Shot, John.
I was watching on the replay here.
Well, I'm thinking, what could I freeze it?
Oh, look at
an inch.
this is unbelievable how minute we're looking at it. Here's Glenn now looking at freezing that backstone, so there is absolutely no way John
Well,
can
I
get
don't care about that.
two.
I'll get one right now.
Or you guard it. Just hope the hell he misses it.
No.
Guarding is so risky on
Nose,
this
if
ice.
I can nose, I can't roll an inch though. No. Well, then he makes a double. The other thing is I could freeze it in there. Right?
You freeze. No, he's always going to have this for one.
That's fine.
No, I know.
But
But
it
you
might
put it
be
right
the-
here, it's 3. You put
I
the
know.
freezer right
What do you
there, it's
think
3.
he does here? He has to hit, eh? What's that?
Unless you like
If
that.
you
I don't
can
mind
make
the
this,
hit.
this is the
okay,
shot.
let's
Right
make
in
the
the
hit.
nose.
Let's make the hit. I gotta throw that same.
Oh, it's great listening
so-
in. There's no explanation required from us when we get to listen in.
I think the hit's actually easier.
Tim, like the
let's
draw
go.
comes in like this.
Solid hack.
Okay.
So they've decided to hit this back yellow.
Actually, I think the hit's easier.
Never took the top.
Well, for Glenn Howard, the only challenge here is that, you know, if he hits it right on the nose, it's going to be difficult for John to get more than one.
What's that?
Yeah, like
If he hits and rolls a little bit away, you know, John Epping's just going to have to nose the other stone there.
hair last.
And if Glenn absolutely ticks the top yellow stone, it's just ugly, because then he's going to roll away, and it's going to be an open hit for 3.
Whoa, Dave. Whoa, Dave.
Yep. Really gotta go.
Yeah, he's going to have to go
Really
hard on
gotta
this.
Go, Dave. Really gotta go.
Dave,
Harder.
Dave
Hard.
Mathers.
You gotta go, Dave. Gotta go, Dave.
Oh dear,
Oh no.
that's unfortunate. I think Glenn would love to throw that one over again.
Actually, lots of weight. Just curled.
Fuck, I love
Yeah. Why did that curl compared to the one for two?
I just really
three?
like this spot.
That had lots of
Okay,
weight.
thanks.
I think obviously Glenn was probably a little bit soft with his release on that, unfortunately, and you know,
Hard when you let go. Just can't hold it.
and no chance.
Well, Scott called it right out of his hand.
Yeah,
So.
he knows.
How did this 3 happen?
Oh, you got really lucky. A little fluky.
Control. Whoa, just
Yep. Hard.
John Epping with the open hit for 3 here.
You gotta go hard. You gotta go hard, Langer.
in this 6th end of play, and he looks like he is bang on.
3.
That's 3 for John Epping to open up a 7-3 lead after 6 ends of play. That's so unfortunate for Glenn. His first stone, he locks it on them in the button, and John just happens to, you know,
he was calling.
slice in the guard and get a little lucky break.
Maybe hair tight.
called
Was
that.
it, I guess.
What's that? Give me some money.
I
But
curls on the other one. Like
that's
the other,
curling.
and they're
That's a huge 3. Team Howard are going to have to park that and really try and manufacture their own deuce to stay in this game.
I thought 4 foot, and I was like, oh, this is 8 foot.
Not too bad. I thought it was, we had to carve his first right to nose.
Might plow. Yeah, but we don't get tree.
No, if my dad's first one gets to nose, it's perfect.
All right, let's
Oh,
sharpen
we
it
get to
up.
nose, it's not there. No, I know. No, the way it happened is because of the angles. That's on nose, Dave. It rolls off. You gotta
So
double
call
check
us
too.
for button here. Put this on the lid.
No, we had to nose it. Yeah.
Well, you know, it was such a great end. Like John just made, you know, that his first shot is just one of those. It's a bit of a lucky break, you know, but he called it.
He called it,
and he made it. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think he made it a lot better than Glenn
Hunter, yeah, exactly.
thought he could ever make it.
Top of the button.
But
Top
you're
of
not
the
even really
button.
looking at that. You know, he's
You're
just
right,
thinking
Matty,
that
you're right.
he make the
You're right,
perfect freeze,
Matty.
and that was the shot he had to make.
Yeah.
I'll go. Let me go.
Johnny looking to warm up here, so he starts sweeping.
Sure.
And he gets it to almost to the top of the button.
They might take it in. I would.
Well, for Glenn Howard now, he's just, you know, he's going to have to just try to regroup and
Tons of work.
and hopefully try to get a deuce
Line's
back,
good.
and then once again put on your stealing caps, and
One second,
anything
Jake.
can happen. We've seen
Looks like halfway, not level
teams
halfway.
come from
No, it's trying.
well
Really coming
behind.
down. It's got
You
a
know,
bit,
we saw
it's got a bit.
Danielle Inglis give up 4 in the 9th end the other day, you know, and she was up 3 at the time. Sorry, Danielle. It was there for the taking. You know, so there have been many opportunities, and I just think that because there are some misses out here and things, conditions are absolutely pristine the way these guys want them. You know, it's great. It's almost like it's got a little bit of that curling club challenge to it, and so they have to navigate that.
It's trying.
And as we
Yeah,
said
line's
before, it's the
great.
same for both teams.
Line's perfect.
You know, who's going to figure it out
just
first?
above it.
Right here. Whoa,
Real close.
Whoa.
No,
Whoa.
that's just look at it.
Whoa.
That's unreal.
Great shot, Slanger.
Same way, Tim.
Oh, another corner coming here. It's a
I thought they
call.
were throwing their. Well, they're throwing 13 there when they were throwing.
Pound more.
Line's a little. Oh, you're good.
Wait's there.
Team Ferris have now opened
Got a
up
curl,
a
actually.
5-point
That's a
lead
curl,
on
looks
Team
heavy.
Wilsey.
Where are we?
You're
They
almost you're
stole
almost
2
in.
in the
If
6th.
it's in, you got to get it buried.
It's in.
You got to go, Scott. You got to go, Scott. You got to go. 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 Keep going. Good.
Nice draw there, well
works,
swept.
Well, that's perfect by Tim March, and now you know, it'll be interesting to kind of see what tactic John Epping takes here with Matt Cam. Whether, you know, they go after that, do they try to tick the guard? You know, they can't. If they tick the guard out of play, then it goes back.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't have anyone. You let it go.
Matt Cam, the local boy here this week. He looked like he pumped this back a little bit.
Man, Dave, Jesus. You're sweet, my guy.
He's going to try to carve it if he can get anything out of it.
Save and fry.
Okay.
Yeah. So to me, and that's exactly what should happen when you know, you release it and you float it back, that, you know, you don't get the results. You know, and you shouldn't be able to carve that rock in
Dave?
there. So Glenn now is going to try to get Dave Mathers to
Sure. I think he's going around.
get a second stone around this corner guard.
I got top 12. It's all there.
And then at that point, you'll probably see John Epping just peel the corner guard, and then you're going to see an exchange. It's going to be that
good.
cat and
Whoa,
mouse
light
a
to
little
go.
bit.
Light to go. Gotta go. It's light.
It's got to curl a bit. Yeah, go. Get it here. Line's good if you get it here.
Think,
No, you got to go, boys. You got to go.
oh God, it just like it blew a tire there. Well, at least the guards are fairly in line. It'll be difficult to make any type of double peel.
No, you threw it there.
Whoa. No,
clean.
you're good.
Matt Cam just going to peel the corner. I think Glenn will be patient and throw another guard up there.
Yeah, because that one's too close. He could go around here.
Well, he can go really deep, which is fine too.
Good jam.
You know, and I think he's best to throw at least one corner guard. Still early in the end.
Could do that.
I've got a couple of options here.
I think here or here. Let's go here.
Teams seem to like drawing around.
Run this blue and jam. That's what we try to do.
Curling by consensus. They're drawing around.
Well, the only challenge with that is that
no, it's not that deep. Back 8.
You know, if Ryan Fry makes the run triple, then you're not happy.
Okay, it's there.
Then it was the wrong decision.
But I hope this stops. It'll stop. It'll stop. Gotta stop.
Looks okay.
Works. Shot, Dave. You okay with the out? Dave, you're 4 slow?
Yeah, but I knew exactly where that one was. I was dry throwing it, so.
Kind of a thick half.
Who's here? See what happens.
That was the out. Are you okay with it? This is the one that kind of floats a bit.
Throw whatever you want.
Or would you rather the other turn? Just believe it.
I don't know what else you like, Timmer. Yeah.
He's throwing the out turn, and the broom is
We're hoping for a miss somewhere.
totally on the inside of the rock.
Whoa, whoa.
Dead nut right now.
Oh, that's almost exactly what Glenn wanted. He's got his jam now, so now 3 points are in play.
Hey, we got to hit something now.
Just spun far enough. That's good, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a shot. Yeah. Board. Okay.
Very hard to do.
You know, when they were talking about making that come around the guard,
Straight roll.
actually that's what the front end were saying. The jam is there.
Board weight.
If they tried to run the guard, and it's exactly what happened.
Yep. Whoa. How heavy? Whoa. Close. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Dave. Whoa. Tim. Clean. Whoa.
It's really close.
Tim.
He's going to try to make the hit and roll here. Just don't jam it.
Shot, Gomer.
Oh, what a great shot by
Well
Scott
done.
Howard.
Yeah, me too.
Well, this is sort of nervous times for the Epping squad because the last thing they want to do is take a 3 and then give up a 3.
But I'm always
or
gonna
more.
have it if he makes that, right?
You know, they're shot rock, but it's
It's lonely.
well, I think he takes the tries to take this double, and if he rolls a bit too, he could actually roll in for second shot again, and then it takes the 3 out of play.
Call it, Ryan.
Really close.
Well,
Oh, great double. Ryan Fry, that is monumental right there.
Shot, buddy.
Are we ever getting 3 boys with this?
Why are we so high?
The only chance for 3.
Easy to do, right?
I think you got to hit now. He
Do it
just
now?
knows that, boys.
well, can't he just hit and roll there?
Well,
Oh, you can make it. If I make the roll, it's the same thing.
yeah,
It's the same as drawing there, except you get rid of the shot stone.
He's not going to miss that. Do
I
this.
know.
This was my first thought, boys. It's the best call if I make it. Solid board. Same weight. Okay.
I think for Glenn here, he's got to assure that he gets 2 points, right? And just Scott Howard here. He's got to make sure that he,
Whoa, Dave.
you know, nose isn't awful.
Tim.
He cannot roll
Hard,
out
Tim.
though.
Really hard, Tim. Really hard, Tim. Really hard. Whoa. Really hard. Really hard. Really
Whoa,
hard.
Tim.
Really
Whoa,
hard.
whoa.
Really hard.
Yep,
Really
yep.
hard. Really hard. Money.
Oh,
Beauty.
Really good.
what a great shot!
Buried.
Yeah.
Thanks. Two beauties. Yeah.
You gotta go for it. You gotta move first.
Yeah, or you can nose it and have it roll in. I don't know if I'm going to get both going. Yeah, I guess I can get both in, eh? Okay.
Sounds like he just wants to make this hit and roll
Like,
towards
I'm
the
thinking
center, I
even
guess,
roll
to
it
get
way
these
over
rocks a
there.
little bit closer together for his next shot.
Well, for John Epping, you know, he's got to make a 2 foot straight back here, and if he can hit a tiny bit high
or you
side,
can do like
he
an
might be able to
absolute
squirt
millimeter.
his own stone
Whoa,
all the way
hard,
over
hard.
to the other side of the sheet.
Yeah, not
Trying
much.
to hit a hair low.
I was
You know,
thinking, like,
but
millimeter,
the
I
same
might be able
token,
roll
actually,
both
he'd
in
love
that.
to even just squirt it to the center of the sheet,
Yeah.
because then Glenn's got to deal with it. But Glenn's going to actually probably try to hit and roll back underneath again.
Whoa.
Yes.
He was thinking that maybe he could, both of these rocks would roll. Just hit it a little too high.
Well, for Glenn Howard now, it's like, okay, boys,
We're down 4.
you're down 4, you got to take the chance, just like Scotty said.
That's Dave. No, that's close to where Dave's was.
Dave's was. Where was Dave's? Is that where yours ended up?
Yeah, that's pretty much where
Dave's was
drew
here.
to.
Right on top.
He's got to weld it.
I didn't either. I thought it
Oh,
was
Tim,
wide.
we're down 4. We have to play the shot.
I'm gonna make the hardest shot for him. Right there.
All right. Speed's pretty good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I knew it that one. It was, I just, this one was standard. Oh, I knew it.
Okay. Similar to the last end? Yeah? No, I know, but I'm thinking that's a. Oh.
No, they know full well they're leaving
that's
a
close
run
to where
back
yours
here
ended up, isn't it?
for
That's
John
because that's
Epping,
got
but
roll
it's
there, right?
their only chance to
pretty
get
close. I'm just
more
taking
than a
advice.
deuce. I mean, obviously they could draw to the open side, and
Same as
Well, they're down 4. It's
Right.
like he says, you know what, he could get 2, be a shirty or 2, and then, you've still got ends left. But I think Glenn's a bit of a gambling man here, too. If he makes the
Line's
perfect
good.
roll,
Lot of room.
or
Got room.
perfect
ton of room.
Ton of room, boys.
Perfect
Really
draw in
gotta
behind
go.
here.
Dave, it's not curling.
Hard,
on.
Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Hard, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Up for
Going
it,
hard
Tim.
now
Come
if
on,
they can
Dave.
get
Hard,
it
boys,
there.
go. Keep
Come on,
going.
go,
All
go,
you
go,
got.
go.
Right till it stops.
going,
Keep going.
keep
Keep
going.
going. Keep going. Right till it stops.
Well,
Throw it.
that might be tricky
Dave,
enough.
15-10.
Way easier.
2/3.
yeah, he might still get his deuce.
Me too.
Well, for John Epping here, he's got to hit this stone high side.
Right in the middle of the rock.
If he hits it on the nose, he'll just chip it out, and then Glenn will have his free draw for 2. If he hits a little bit high side, he's going to have to hit it really thin to actually try to get both of them. And I'm not sure he can get both of them. If he does get both of them, he will astound me. So
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
it's really
Whoa.
close. Line looks really good.
Good try, John.
Just took a little
You
snap.
like that intern?
Well,
Or what do you
Yeah.
like?
Same one.
for Glenn Howard, he at least has to touch the 8 foot now to take 2
Didn't quite
points
throw
in
that
this
one.
7th end.
Oh. No, I like this, Scott.
I do too.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's where I had you for that one draw.
We all like it. Okay, can I give you that same way, but no less?
Thanks.
Glenn Howard, the last stone here in the 7th end of play. Looking to get a piece of the 8 foot.
Piece of the 8, boys.
Oh, he's sliding hard.
It's curling now. Curling. Really curling.
Looks pretty good.
Should be hot. Yeah.
14.5, his weight should be just perfect.
What's that?
There you go, look at that, right to the button again.
Like this is, yeah.
So at the completion of
15-1
7 ends
there,
of play,
14-4, same score.
John Epping will lead by a score of 7-5.
Good throw. Thanks.
Obviously, going back here in the 8th end, I think you will see, you may see Glenn try to throw a double center, but I would think you'll you'll see Brent Lang being asked by John Epping to tick the center guard.
All right.
Yeah, but he didn't get the horse shit shot.
I'd really like to steal here and narrow this gap.
Not trying to keep it close. Let's go.
Even if he limits him to a single, he's still down 3 with 2 to play.
Oh, boys, we're playing well, too.
Not insurmountable, but I think you might see him go hard for the steal here. What do you think?
Oh, I think
those
I think Glenn will have the full court press on, but you do know that. I think we witnessed from that end that 3 is always in play. So even if Glenn forces him to a single, he may get a chance to get 3 back in the 9th, and then we kind of go to the 10th end and
Game on.
Game on.
So Team Willsey did manage to pick up a single in the 7th end and now trail Team Ferris by a score 6-2.
Never Dave.
Over on sheet A, they blanked the 7th, so the score remains tied there at 5. And also on sheet D, they blanked the 7th.
No, it's tight.
So they're still locked at 5.
It's really curling. Go. It's there.
So if Glenn could ever get to be tied,
exactly.
his stats aren't really good. Well, again, John Epping tied with the Hammer playing 10. Is 8-2. This season he's 4-0.
Oh, you need edge.
Glenn Howard tied without the Hammer is 0-6. And he's 0-1 this season.
Ouch.
So he might have to push hard for the 4.
That's why he needs to steal here to.
Well, I thought that they might have Langer throw the tick, but he's just throwing the draw.
And he's deep.
Yeah.
And he goes deep here, so.
He threw tick weight.
Tim March here.
Line's a little tight again.
Throw the second center guard.
That's really good. Okay. Whoa, over curl. Over curl.
It's just over.
It's really tight.
Just over.
Okay, that might dig then. Actually, might not be pretty. It might be good. Okay. Shot.
Well, those are 2 good center guards by Tim March that
never know. Good. Yeah.
That Glenn's going to use here now for Brent Lang. Like this is mammoth. He's got to get this in top 4 foot, fully buried.
Line's good. Line's good.
And they seem to have nice line and nice weight.
Yep.
Don't want to go too deep.
Whoa.
We're there.
Okay.
I know.
Great shot.
Good throw there.
Oh, that's a brilliant toss.
Love to just bump that about 2 feet.
The professional that he is.
Nice recovery.
Yeah, I get that cutter. No, I like tapping. This is big. Trying to throw. Yeah.
Well, David Mathers, if he can kind of warp this one in here and sort of tap the Langstone out in the open, doesn't have to remove it from play. I think he'd probably rather keep it in play because it just offers another angle, another option for them.
Really gotta go. Yep, keep going. Hard, Tim. You still got it. Whoa, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
He's on the top one.
That was really tight. Super tight.
Well, for David Mathers, that was not the way to miss that shot. He was better off to even try to tap it out in the open, even if he rolled open a little bit. It would have forced John Epping to sort of deal with the stone. Unfortunately, now John gets a free run to try to rip the center and take one of the other ones with it.
Yep.
Matt Cam here.
Yep.
Oh, I wanted to go
dear.
too.
That's a perfect stone.
Now Team Howard
That's the shot.
forced to play another
Start
center.
that one.
I think that's the one to peel. Because if we peel the other one,
You need edge of 12.
ours is fine.
You need dice.
If you can ever chase, never chase.
David Mathers with his second stone at the end, trying to replace the long guard. Once again, like,
tight.
you know, he's trying to get this
Really
maybe
tight.
6 feet over the hog line. And he may have just pulled the string here.
Oh boy.
2 passes.
You want to play it aggressively, or?
Yeah,
I
that's
like it.
fortunately that's
I'm trying to stand up.
those weren't 2 of David's greatest stones.
No, not at
He
all.
wants to quickly
still think we
forget
need
those.
to.
For John Epping, he's just trying to nullify
Yeah.
any offense that Glenn can create.
Yeah.
You know, Tim was narrow on both of his. And actually, David was narrow on both of his, too, and light, especially light on his second.
Well, they just have to trust it. They're just, you know, sometimes nobody tries to hook it, right? But it's just through the release. And it's a lot of times it comes down to slide lines, too.
Whoa! Fire! Whoa!
Looking to try to hit and roll this in the rings if they can. Absolute brilliant shot by Matt Cam.
Good shoot, my man.
Made a shot.
Good shot.
Teammates acknowledging his great shot.
Really hard to get there.
Well, when
What if I
he
just,
struggled early
just
in the
tap
game,
that
and like actually in that first end,
Easy when I
Boy,
start.
you know,
give up 1 here. You can take 3.
he got them in a world of
I'm
hurt.
hoping we
and
go here.
Fortunate enough that
Tails,
John
I
Epping
don't
made a
go
big
open.
shot to bail
Yeah.
him out.
There's that, too. Could just draw. I like this. Yeah, okay. Board. Okay.
Still not out of it.
Scott Howard,
No.
the 29-year-old Midland
Whoa.
resident.
Whoa! Dave! Close! Dave, you gotta go. You gotta go. Whoa!
Oh,
Shit, I
dear.
blew it.
Oh,
Hard roll! God.
oh, Glenn.
Sorry, boys.
Well, that's how effective these guys are, carving these rocks out of this
Yeah.
ice. The ice might be a tiny bit softer, and
control.
I'm telling you, they get so much force on these brooms.
You want to see
You know,
the
there's
4 foot or something?
He only swept it for a couple of feet, and it was too much.
Well, all these brooms,
I like that.
you know, they did all the testing of it 3 years
Right.
ago, and they came up with a single fabric, which all the companies use. It's almost like we've gone to a uniform golf ball on the PGA Tour. I think Jack Nicklaus was actually a big fan and trying to promote that, but obviously it's big business. So we've gone to a uniform fabric, but the same token, now the pads are all slightly different. And with some of these guys and some of these different brooms, they're really effective.
Yeah, so we're kind of right back where we started.
No, not really. Actually, it's
That worked.
you know what's
Yeah,
happened
right
now
to
is that
nose.
now everybody's
I like the call.
trying to change their technique, so
Are
they've
we
got more
shot?
of an up and down
Yep.
stroke, and so they're
Yeah.
far more effective in changing it. But different ice conditions, you get different types of results.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Like it's complete. Yet
So is he?
from the good stuff.
Glenn's going to
Going
come down
around
and he's going to try to freeze to the very back stone.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, he's looking if he can to try to force John Epping to a single point.
Line's good.
John's laying 3, but Glenn's going to do everything in his power to make sure that he only gets 1.
Right, room. Looks like lots of. Tim, you got to
Make it good, boys. Make it good.
Line's good.
Yep, Dave. Whoa.
Make it good. Lock it on Tim.
Tim. Go.
There it goes.
Stop curling. Good stop curling. Okay. Oh, I got to get
Shot.
nose.
Or you just hit it with like
Take
a
a
hat
shot.
and sit right
Great.
on it.
Scott Howard has actually played really well.
Back line.
And, you know, it's just been a couple of
Unless you like
miscues
that.
by Glenn that,
I was thinking checked out.
well, and a great shot by John Epping.
Oh, I mean, they've had their chances for sure.
Yeah.
back.
Whoa! 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 Never, never, never.
Uh-oh.
Never.
Uh-oh. Well,
Keeps in the game.
that's the
Keeps
break
us in the
that
game.
Glenn was looking for.
So we're going to, just go around the corner here, try and force the issue?
Well, I'm a little surprised that that John would play that run back rather than coming down like his first call.
Okay.
You know, if he would have frozen it and stayed frozen to it, then I still think that that Glenn would have had it. Glenn would have been challenged.
And he could have possibly still got his 2.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Which at this point, opening up a 4-point lead would be huge. But good chance here for Team Howard to either, probably force the issue here.
Lots of room.
I got lots.
Not likely he's going to steal with a rock in the
No, Dave, not you, buddy.
Well, he does not want
Tim's
to get
rock,
too
Tim's
deep
rock.
here because then obviously John's going to throw
Tim's
the draw.
rock.
John
Let
would
it curl.
freeze to him.
There we go. Really good now. Hard, Tim. Line's perfect. Hard. Tim, go. Keep going. Keep going.
The carry they get is amazing.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The rock looks like it's dying, and they still manage to drag it an extra 4 or 5 feet.
Well, these guys are beasts of sweepers, and you know what? It makes a huge difference in the outcome of the game. Like,
Cody's been throwing, I think.
I got 14-3 on.
you know, the common club curler. You know, he's got no.
The first one
If they had these sweepers, they would make a lot more shots too, right? At the end of the day, that's what we're looking at. You know, we saw Zach Schertloff the other night, who was a beast of a sweeper for Patrick Ferris's team as well.
If I make this,
You know who
will I
else a
just
really
leave him
good
a
sweeper
double?
is? Rick Allen.
Yes.
No? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Team McDonald have opened up a 2-point lead on Steve Allen's team. They lead 7-5. Similar score, Matt Hall is now leading
Why don't we maybe
7-5
outright
over
chase it?
Jason Cam.
Or run the guard onto the back.
And our other game is the score is still 6. Well, they're just going to post it now, so.
You want to chase that?
Just double checking on the clocks here, and John Epping's team's got 14 minutes, and Glenn Howard is currently at 8 minutes.
Okay. What about the run?
Oh, goddamn right.
It is paper.
Okay, let's make the freeze then, guys.
So Team Woolsey
Yeah, let's
stole
make
a
it.
point there. So then the score is now 6-3 there. And that's after 8 ends of play.
The second one you rolled over, no weight.
What happened on our sheet there?
Even if you rolled it over, it didn't roll over. No chance.
Did he draw through
Well,
the rings?
No, Glenn's got the perfect. He made the perfect
Stay
draw,
here,
and now Epping's going to try to corner freeze the Howard stone. That's in the
Okay,
the
I
8
thought he
foot there
already
at
threw.
9
I guess they
p.m.
went down for a conference.
No, they've got so much time that they can stop for coffee here.
Whoa. Line's great. Line's great.
1475. Oh, what a great shot by
Really
John
nice.
Epping.
Yep, the shot.
Well judged, just absolutely perfect. You know, now for Glenn Howard, it's like,
Is he going to play that double?
well,
Like you have to throw a little less weight though.
this is game right here. He's got to make this shot because if John gets 2, he's going to go up 4, and you know.
I think there's a hole. Oh, I don't think there is. Not at all.
Not that it really matters.
I don't think there's a hole. No.
Maybe there's no hole. Oh, I don't know. Okay, intern.
Yeah. Normal or peel?
I think peel.
It's ultra thin.
Well, I guess we can control it better with normal.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what I was
solid
thinking.
normal. I know, okay, yeah. So, I just got to make it. Throw peel. See the broom.
Normal, it's going out for sure.
I don't know, these rocks are so dead.
What
Solid
about
normal.
What about the
Firm.
run back?
Solid normal.
Well,
Room down.
he could make the run back if he. The angle is probably pretty good to jam on his back one, though.
Okay, what do you think, boys? What's this going to do?
Well, you can almost play the same sort of line.
Unless he's stuck around. I guess he could make the run back and just stick it, right?
Actually.
That might be an easier shot than the one he's attempting here. But he's looking, actually, if he makes this, he can actually lay 3 points.
2 buried, yeah.
And then John would have to draw to the 4. Here we go, Glenn Howard, last rock, 8th end.
Really hard, Tim.
No chance.
I think he's on the guard.
No.
Well, for John Epping.
That curl.
Right, you're really good.
This spot similar, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just has to basically throw the exact same shot he just
Isn't that
threw. Bite the 4-foot for
much.
2 points and a commanding 4-point lead with 2 ends to go.
Okay. Something like that, eh?
7, 8, 9, 5. Do we keep going? We keep going, right? You're 3.
Shake, don't we?
Really? Oh, down 4. Yeah. No, down 4.
Definitely a bigger extension, but
Cam and Lang sweeping this. All of a sudden, they're starting to go. 15:06. They're going to have to go to get it there.
come on, Matty, go!
It's going to have to go really hard.
Got it.
And that's two big points for John Epping.
Only down 4. Yeah. Keep on.
I think they're going to play one more.
Fuck, he's had some cheesy.
Like we've said before, 3 is always in play here at the free guard zone.
Every end 3's in play.
I curled the foot.
It was crazy. I thought you perfect out your hand.
Yeah, and I'm going, what? Jeez, and it's gone.
Oh, okay. Could be that.
I expected to curl a little bit. But
Rock.
It's not doing a baby that.
Well, at this point for John Epping, up 4, I think he may put the first rock on the top 4 foot and then toss his second stone.
Yeah. Deading it and the ice is not conducive for that. Okay, Fry. Yeah.
Yeah, it says.
3 other games on tap right now.
So bad. Knows it.
Matt Hall leading
Playing great.
Jason Cam by 2 as they play the 10th end.
Second. I wanted that shot.
Actually, the score isn't up for the 9th, but they're playing the 10th. Pat Ferris continues to lead
I'm good. I didn't use much.
John Wilsey
Gonna give
6-3.
Matty a break.
And Scott McDonald is leading Steve Allen by a score 7-5, and they're into the 10th end of play. All these games are actually playing a little quicker. Like, we said John Epping had, what,
He has 12 now.
12 minutes left. I think
You're close.
Glenn
has
Howard
6.
is, he's down to 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, brother. Oh, looking up, eh?
Good throw.
Top of the button, buddy.
I won, Tim.
Top of the button.
Good throw, Langer.
Nice weight control by Brent Lang. Corner guard coming up for Tim March.
You gotta keep them.
See a curl. Scott,
They're throwing
kill it.
hard.
Just kill it. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Trying to
keep
get
going,
this
keep going,
over
keep
the
going.
hog line.
That really came down.
Shot.
Yeah. Something similar.
John asking Brent just to put another one right in there.
A little surprised with this, just because they should know that the more rocks in the house, that they're only going to help out Glenn,
I like it.
especially if they get staggered in any shape or form.
My hand's like super moist, and I think it's helping.
Wait, it's good.
Whoa.
No, it's not dry at
Yeah,
all.
we're just going top 8 on this line.
Sure what it's gonna
Shot,
do.
Timmer.
Just fully 8. Just fully 8.
Yeah, that really curled.
Yeah.
Breaks.
Okay.
Okay, there.
So another corner being asked for here.
Yep. Yep.
It's a hair tight.
Yep. Gotta go wait.
Gotta go line.
Yeah, it did.
Really gotta go.
Your weight was good.
Really,
Come on,
like, it's
come on,
really
come on,
light.
come on.
Working this one really hard too.
They've given up on Tim here.
Just come up way light on his second guard
light.
attempt.
When you let it go, I said hard as you can go.
He's actually covered the Epping stone that's in the full 12 foot. So the update for sheet A between Matt Hall and Jason Kam is
Gotta get around that
they
yellow one, Dave.
blanked the ninth end. So the score remains 7-5 there in favor of Matt Hall.
You don't need, yeah, it's gonna go with Dave. No, I agree.
So Glenn's playing a draw here, and he's literally
minute
got his
when you went
broom
back to
on the
corner.
sponge.
That's close. That's what we're trying almost.
That's along the walkways in between the sheets.
That's ballpark.
Line's good. Wait's good. Gotta go, actually.
Yeah, you gotta go line.
Gotta go wait.
Get your butt. Yeah, you gotta go.
This really, really curls here.
Gotta
Oh,
keep
it's
going.
light.
Gotta keep going to get by the yellow. Gotta go hard to get by the yellow. Oh, okay.
Well, this just warps right in there.
He just is light.
Probably on its own, it might have been 8 foot.
Quarter, third,
Said you're a little soft.
half.
This is coast to coast.
So John Epping not wasting any time here. He's going to attempt to peel these Howard guards.
Whoa! 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 Yep! Whoa! 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 Attaboy.
So he runs the one off and sends the other one to the boards. It's a great shot by Matt Kam.
Yeah. Same shot.
So decision time now for Glenn Howard.
Guard it. Yeah, that's fine.
They're going to throw up another guard.
Line's pretty good. Wait, it's okay. Not Scott. It's really going sideways. Oh, it's picking
It's
or
looked
something.
like it's lost its handle and just barely gets over the hog line.
Showing its teeth now.
I think you just peel
Picked.
it.
That's a shitty rock.
Okay.
I have a feeling that if they're going to be playing on this sheet in the well, they are going to be playing the sheet in the final. They won't be choosing the rocks from the sheet.
John taking no chances here. Just removing the corner guard.
Take around the yellow.
Unless you want to go here.
Yeah.
Same.
So with no guards in play here, Glenn's still trying to manufacture something.
Rope. Wait, fine.
I think
boys.
Scotty likes the hero shots, trying to go
Rope's fine.
around everything.
There's
But,
lots
you know,
of
sometimes just a simple play, just throwing a simple corner guard is the most
Dave a
effective
bit.
play.
No, actually, it's getting better.
Yeah,
Dave.
Dave.
It's not going to matter. He's going to peel. I'm just trying to waste rocks. One less chance you can slash. Go in your next one.
Do I just peel it?
Try what? Oh. I don't think you need to, Fry.
I don't know if we have to.
Well, everybody kind of talking Ryan Fry off the ledge there on trying to run it back. You know, only bad things can really come of that. This is a much better play.
Yeah.
You know, on difficult ice conditions, you know, you have to force the other team to make the difficult shots.
How hard do I throw this? Back 12. Oh, God. Ryan. I hear you.
Scott going to try to come all the way around
no,
this
line's
now.
Good, line's good. Good. Got tons of room.
He can get it buried at the back
really
8 foot, back 12 foot. It'd be perfect. Well, maybe not quite that far.
Back 12. Back 12. Tim. Hard, Tim. Hard, Tim.
Hard, Tim.
Okay, keep going.
That's a great shot.
Well, he may give the Epping rink a run at the slash, or they may just be patient and just hit and roll into the middle and make Glenn's life a little bit more difficult.
I would rather hit and roll in front, or even hit and roll there.
I don't think they tried to make it. They were trying to go with on the top.
Yeah, it's that.
No, they didn't call it.
It's
Because
that,
on
or
this line,
it's
I think it grabbed
yeah,
and hooked over the top.
yeah.
They were trying to throw it on top.
yeah, it's that, or you put.
No, I agree. It's
Yeah,
you line it up and this shot's up.
Yeah, because I can pop something in there again.
I like this. So there's no quit in these guys, right? They're still talking about possibilities and.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
normal.
always
Roll
hope,
it to the
and you
center.
know what? You're one shot away from, like Glenn right now is like a
Or roll it even in
one
front
sort of
their-
miss
oh,
or
yeah,
half
yeah.
shot or something away from getting 3 points and only being down a single point going to the
he's
last
done
end.
Yeah.
Kind of weight, John?
Normal.
So we have handshakes on sheet C. So that'll be a victory for Pat Ferris. And that drops Team Wilsey to 3 losses.
Good looking shot by John Epping coming. Just trying to make the hit and roll in.
Sit.
So Wilsey's record goes
he just
to
may have spun back enough.
4 and 3. Sorry. And Team Ferris goes to 3 and 3.
Is a little much.
Yeah, I think it's real good.
Freeze it.
Yeah, it's only a shot.
Matt Hall is winning, so he has a chance to go to 4
You
and
gotta leave this
2.
angle for this double. Half a rock's perfect.
Tomorrow's going to be a good day, Ian. I see possibilities here.
Lob it in there.
Yeah. Hey? Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
right on the freeze to the yellow. Does that look like
John
ice?
doesn't like where he just rolled to, because now if Glenn Howard locks this on, John cannot get it out of play.
God, that looks like a ton.
Sit.
Okay.
We don't have to hit nothing.
Okay.
Are we 3?
I'm worried it's not going to curl enough.
Whoa, it's got to curl, boys.
It's not going to curl enough.
Is it that heavy?
There it comes.
Well, maybe
Yep,
he
go
can
Tim,
go
go
right,
Tim, go Tim.
go right around
Go,
it.
Tim, hard.
I think he just lost it.
Pound heavy, eh?
Yeah. 6 inches heavy.
6 inches or a
Make the
pound
doubles
heavy?
Rock heavy.
Hey?
A rock heavy.
Peel.
He can get them both here.
Well, actually, he doesn't have to. Actually, I think for John Epping,
No.
I think if he noses this, you might see handshakes. Because even if he gets one here, he'll be.
Is he not?
Glenn will be 1 down or 3 down playing the last end.
Whoa.
Get it the other way.
Double.
There you go.
There we go. Handshakes.
Curl a ton.
Yes.
Right luck.
Well, that's a great. That was a great game. I think that was very entertaining. I think if we see these two teams again come Sunday, it might be an extremely entertaining final. But I know there's 7 or 6 other teams out here that want to have their say in this matter as well. So
that takes Team Epping to 6-0, drops Howard to 5-2.
Yep. So the final score in that game will be 9-5 for Epping, with Glenn Howard conceding in the 9th end. So tomorrow's another day. We will be back with you tomorrow at 12:15. And we will be having Mark Keene up against Jason Cam. So 12:15 tomorrow on Friday. So on behalf of all of us at Curl On and Title Sports Live, we thank you for tuning in. Have a great evening, and we will see you tomorrow.